Alright, so here we are in 2026, the big 2026, making a tier list. Let's just make sure the setup is all good. Get the laptop fan running. Oh, there we go. And we can get this tier list started very soon. Yum. Jams, is that actually Jams? Bro going through his house? That is not Jams actually, but yes, I did have to move. I do apologize if the microphone's bad because this laptop is fucked. But let's do this. No gacha tier list. Boom! Let's go. So essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rank every no gacha unit that I will be using for the thing also known as my no power creep no gacha run. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. So let's get this going. Let's copy this, actually. Just call it edge, because that's what it is. And where is the window capture? Window capture, yes, please. Add a new source called edge window. And please capture edge. There we go, that works. Let's go. Just shrink that a little bit and fit this to screen, and we're good to go. Oh yeah. No gacha tier list. Also, my live streaming tab is actually off, so I will do that so I can watch chat and rank stuff at the same time. Let's get this going, Let's get this going. Just gotta make sure that's going good. Cool. Alright. So, I also went through the message. Okay, let's go. Let's rank everyone. I'll probably have to end up adding an extra tier or two, depending on what I want to do. So, anyway, again, let's just get this going. So, first off, we have good old reliable Basic Cat. Basic Cat is alright. He does fall off around the mid-game to end-game. Well, I don't know what people call it nowadays. So yeah, he's not going to be that high. I'm going to bet that little island will be B to A tier. Ooh, we'll get there. We'll get there. But for now, let's start with a solid B tier for Cat. Relevant for at least 6 years of the game. Now he's fallen off a little bit. Actually, let's put him down. Because this is an objective, or I'm trying to make it an objective ranking for every, for the current point of the game, so let's put him in C tier. If it was a general list about no power creep, I would put him up and around B or A. But moving on to our first decent unit, Eraser. Eraser, I would like to put in S tier, but in a lot of stages, Eraser just cannot function that well. I think my microphone is not being that good, you know? It should be a little bit better now, hopefully. Oh yeah, that looks beautiful on my side. You know exactly where Dark Laser is going. Well, we'll find out. Anyway, back to Eraser. Eraser's kind of fallen off in recent times. I feel like as soon as LD was introduced, even Shockwave to some extent, Eraser started falling off. But he's still very good. It's still a very good mutual option. Dual Eraser is still very relevant in 2026. So we are going with that. ATL it is. Let me just get this playlist going, even though I know you can't hear it all. I want something to hear, otherwise I lose my mind. Next. Please. Anyway, you know, if this fan's just gonna be like this because this laptop is really screwed, it's fine. I'll just buy a mic or something. Monaco S++, that is not happening, we know. Anyway, next. Dark Cat. Okay, next we have Macho Leg. Macho Leg, pretty bad nowadays. You don't even use him on alien stages. Used to be alright though. Used to be pretty usable. For that I'll put him in low CTR probably. Lion. Next we have... next we have Island. Okay, Island's also going to be CTR. It's not complete dog shit, but it's not really that good either. Manic Island is just better. Dragon... I will actually put Dragon in CTR. Oh, by the way, I will give a bit of context to these rankings. I'm not ranking based off gacha cat combos. So if you see me put like Nyandam in C tier, it's because he doesn't have a gacha cat combo, or he doesn't have a no gacha cat combo that's good. This tier is going to be long. I forget how many no gacha units there are. There are 161 that I have on this list. Those are the 161 units I will use to beat the game no gacha, no power creep. She's underrated? Is very, very good. She's not underrated, but she's 100% the go to special legends. Yeah, she's the go to special units, I agree. The Bible specials. Okay, anyway, Dragon I'm going to put at CT as well, because Dragon has a pretty relevant defense combo, which can bail you out of certain scenarios. And yeah, it's actually pretty relevant. Dragon's not bad for the defense combo, but literally that's all. Yeah, there's just some times where you want the extra health for the breakpoint, but you don't want to use the other no gacha cat combo. This effect on Dark is so real. It's not. Flying has to be C, it's got aerial recon. True, you're right. You're right, it's got aerial recon, I forgot. But apart from aerial recon, it's not even usable. It's not close to usable past Red Rectangle and Brave Dog's Bone from Uncanny Legends. It just cannot do anything. But yeah, Dragon's at least alright. Aerial Recon's the only thing carrying this bow. Jamiera. Ooh, I don't like Jamiera. But he's not bad either. It's got to be better than Macho Leg. Problem with Jamiera is that he's bad, so let's just not talk about him. Beefcake. He's not complete dog water, but it is pretty bad. I will have to admit Beefcake is used more than Island, because in stages... I'm thinking about no power creep at this point. But yeah, Beefcake is not terrible. He's not terrible. He can be a lot worse. So I'll put him there for now. That will probably change though, we'll see. Golfer is the real underrated. I'll probably end up putting Golfer in B or C tier. Lion's no gacha cat combo, 3 kings, true. But Lion doesn't have any usage outside of that. So I guess I'll put him in bottom of C. Lion King and 3 kings? Yes, they're good cat combos. Next we have Dancer. Dancer is one of the best no gacha mid-ranges you can ever get. Suicide Attacker is usually related to Dancer. Even before his talents, he was regarded as a nice Suicide Attacker, and that still holds true. His talents are very nice. I think he will go into the A tier for now. Biobone is a good combo, but we do not have Bone in that in no gacha, so Mr. ends up being in B tier. The Research combo is pretty potent even today, and again, I believe it was mentioned by Wall, was it? Yeah, Wall. Flying has to be C if it's got aerial recon, well Mr's got to be B because this Research card combo is better. Beefcake's only niche is being Surge Immune, and only time he's going to be used is Cappy stage. Well, yeah, but he's not... I don't think he's worse than Island. I don't think he's worse than these other units. It's just that he's not good. You're never using these units anyway, 99% of the time. So, there are a few exceptions, of course. This is, again, in context of a pure no gacha account, so I'm not taking into account gacha cat combos, which would include bad guys and so on. Next we have Bondage. Bondage is going to go up into B tier. I would have probably put Bondage in C tier, but Austrinity exists now, and Bondage is a really good counter to Austrinity. Probably put it down below Mr, because Mr is just that good. With the cat combo. It's surprisingly good. So I think I'll leave Bondage here, but Austrinity is really the only relevance Bondage has. Maybe you could use Bondage in, like, Leprude, but his DPS is so bad there's no reason to use him. It's just... Might as well use, like, Dark Laser. Dancer is good, yeah, Dancer is very good. Okay, Dark Laser is going to be Insta S tier. Also, I'm going to follow it up with CAT. These two, not only do they make one lineup challenges possible, but they are also just really good units in general. They have their own typings. They make a lot of low power creep no gacha possible. And there's not really much else for me to say, except maybe this could go up a tier if I had S+. Only issue, Dark Laser, you can run into some money issues, so equipping a cashback orb is usually alright and good. But, yeah, it's still fine to have strong on this, it's fine to have massive damage. They have really good stuff. Lollycat, I'll put in probably above Bondage. It's just a very decent metal CC. It's just good, in my opinion. Like, the most recent ZL stage, not the most recent one, the one from the previous update, Vainglorious Venture, had a metal stage, and you could use Lollycat in that pretty fine. Actually does pretty well, so it will go there. Box carried me against black enemies. Yeah, exactly. Box cat is just great once you get talents. Monaco has a cat combo, so she goes into bottom of C. To be fair, the cat combo was relevant. It used to be relevant, now it's not as much, but at least there is a cat combo. And to be fair, Dark Cat has a cat combo with Dark Laser, but you're never using it, I don't think. Like, Nala's uptime could be extended by quite a lot. I will have a look, but that, again, that interaction is pretty niche anyway. Yeah, Nala's attack uptime would go up a bit, but... Look, I gotta put something in DTO, right? You know, I'm gonna put these ones in DTO. I'm gonna move these around. I'll put the weighting on the cat combos a lot less. Except for Mr, because Mr's just really good. Dragon's better than Jamie though, so let's leave that there. At least you can actually use Dragon on 12-3. Miracle Performance is actually a pretty good combo. Well, it's not reliable, and the problem with metals is reliability. You do improve your reliability, but it's better to bring safe options, in my opinion, than a crit cat combo. At least in 2026. This would have probably gone up a few tiers if we were doing no gacha, no power creep inclusions, but I'm just focusing on the current state of no gacha, which also probably sadly means that this will go into D tier. You're never using this cat combo unless you're doing a Bahamut cheese, so I guess we'll go into C because it is relevant. The other cat combo for speed is just better. Just got better units. So next we have Ninja. Ninja probably goes into C. I'll go top of C. It's pretty much the only reason why Bondage is here as well, is those Trinity. Otherwise, it would be probably D tier. Let's be real. So, we got the next one, Zombie Cat. I'm gonna put Zombie Cat, but only because Bioburn is good. I'll put him in C tier. Then we have Vice Ball. Vice Ball is a very good tanker. I actually want to put Vice Ball around as high as a Razor. Vice Ball could go in S. I am not gonna lie, Vice Ball is really nice to use. I think I will. I'll go low S for Vice Ball. It's not really much else for me to say. Now you have Talent Orbs as well for Vice Ball. You can be a lot more flexible with how you want to play with Vice Ball most of the time. I would guess people want to use cost return on a pure no gacha account, of course. Otherwise, you have the immune to Toxic, you've got immune to Freeze, and immune to Slow, and Knockback. You've got pretty good CC coverage with Vice Ball. And there's also that additional 3000 HP he has over Manic Eraser, so that can make a difference a lot of the time. It's pretty good. Vice Ball is S, yep. I think Vice Ball does have that advantage over Eraser with the speed. So we all know where Manic Eraser is going, right? Skelecat Carry, says bro. Skelecat, the only reason you're on C tier is because of this guy here, otherwise you'd be near Dark Hat. Okay. Samba, easy A tier. Anytime there's a bunch of surges, Samba is going to get value. And you might think, oh, but now surges are paired with like waves and LD and stuff. Well, there's also something called knockback talents and Death Surge Orb, which actually makes Samba a really good counter to aggression. I think I'll put low A tier. Because, yeah, but Samba's really improved a crap ton since the talents. Otherwise, Samba would probably go in B tier or high C. It's just not good enough. But yeah, with talents, A tier, absolutely. Death Surge is a very relevant mechanic in the game. Why is Monaco D? Because she doesn't do anything. Gato Amigo, the first OG Surge immune meat shield. Yeah, that's also true. We have Cactus as well. Cactus is probably going to go around the same. But the thing is, again, Samba has the additional chance to Death Surge and Knockback. Loincloth. Loincloth is pretty dog water. But to be fair, if you need a barrier breaker, a general barrier breaker, she can't be that bad. She can't be worse than a lot of the other units here. So into C, Loincloth goes. I don't use Loincloth that much, but from what I understand, it's just you just use her to barrier break, and that's it. So not really that much utility. I think there's a talent for Loincloth where you can like knock back angels or some knockback alien. I mean, yeah, 30% chance to weaken aliens for around 150% uptime to 50%, which is all right. But it's just, I don't know where you're going to use it. I guess it helps with UCAN coverage. We'll see. Valk is high S, high A. We'll see. I'm definitely going to put Valk up there somewhere because Valk is Valk is turning out to be a pretty good unit. This is maybe a controversial pick here with Valkyrie because people say that she's not good talents, but the only reason they say that is because they want to use talents on other units that are better, and Valkyrie is completely fine. I will admit this ranking is slightly biased by the most recent Manic King Dragon upload with Heavenly Tower 4 slots, no gacha, but it kind of made me realize how broken the freeze is, and you can stack Valkyrie too if you've given enough time, which will make the freeze even more potent. So let's put it there for now. Maybe we'll get people who disagree. Now, okay, this one's easy, alright? This one's easy. Okay. We don't need to talk about this guy, right? Capsule Cat I'm gonna rank because I actually have him on my main account, and he goes into an easy D tier. Not below Dark though. Probably not below Monaco either. Oh, sorry, I mean below, not above Monaco, not below Dark. Yeah, that's the only collab unit I will do. Valk is good, but she's overshadowed by Big Baja Blast. Lucas used her quite a bit just for the freeze. I remember his original 450 strategy cheese was to bring Valkyrie. But I don't know how often she's used by most of the players. I will say that she's definitely good. She's a contender for one of the best generalist mid-ranges in GACHA. Bronze Cat. There's one stage in the entire game where you use Bronze Cat and you never use him again. Let's put him below Capsule Cat. Actually, let's put him below Dark Cat. Is this valid? Chat, is this valid? Because at least Dark Cat is a combo, bro. At least Dark Cat is a combo. I'll find out soon. Bannerman, I wish you were good, man. I wish Bannerman was good. Unfortunately, Bannerman is too expensive. I like to call it Bannerman, even though the name is Rampage, because it's carrying a banner pretty much, and that's the description of the name. Although, again, the name is Rampage. This pick here is literally for one stage only. It is for Red Alert 20. Rampage is extremely good in Red Alert 20 as a meat shield. I've not tested it, no gacha, no power creep, but I would assume Rampage is doing pretty well as a ranged meat shield, so I will leave him in D. And we will move on to the next unit, who has one good cat combo, and you forget about it again. Now, I guess these are all the monthly units, so it does make sense that they're going to go low. Oh wait, hold on, this unit's dog shit, because it doesn't even have a cat combo without row. So let's just get some of these out of the way. Prisoner can probably go in D tier with Rampage. We can get some more out of the way too. I do remember Aladdin being useful in exactly one stage again. That one was known as Government Watchdog from SOL, because essentially you just want to stack a lot of them so you can kill the metal doges quickly. But apart from that, yeah, really not good. And Noodle. Oh, Noodle. I actually want to put Noodle higher, because I'm fairly convinced Noodle performs well against metals, but unfortunately he doesn't. I could definitely put him in C, but I've not done enough testing with Noodle to know exactly the upsides of using Noodle over, general killers. Rampage has a great niche, but he's simply too expensive. Exactly. If Rampage costed half the amount, or even costed like 210, even 210 is a bit expensive. But if he costed less, then he would be actually really good. The health of Rampage is not even irrelevant, and the range is 330, which 330 is pretty solid as a range meat shield. But unfortunately, that's too expensive. You use Noodle a lot, but then again, it's 2026 Kodal, and I'm basing this off a 2026 standpoint, and Noodle is not used at all. If you can perma-freeze a metal, and you can also perma-weaken the metal and perma-slow the metal, and then control everything behind the metal seal, then you can use Noodle Cats as much as you want. But unfortunately, I've never used Noodle, apart from that one challenge. Come to think of it, you can't think of a bad Behemoth egg. Oh, trust me, there are plenty of them. I'm not even going to be the rest of that. Space Cat's pretty good. You have to kill SMH on Fish Hell. That is valid, except that it's 2026. So I'm not taking into account no power creep, except for the stages that I'm playing on right now. When I was early game, yes, of course. He does job well when you get him, of course. Yes, he does alright. Now we go to the Manic units. This one is an easy S or A tier. Manic Mohawk is just really good. I actually want to put him in S tier. And this might, again, be a little bit controversial, but 28 speed, if you think about a lot of the other rushes in the game, Supercars 25 speed, Courier is 25 speed, Slime is 20 speed. Also, you can switch forms between Manic Mohawk and Manic, or Craze Cat, I mean, to synergize with Manic Eraser, who's obviously S tier. You consider that, and Manic Mohawk is, in my opinion, one of the most versatile, cheapest meat shields in the game. He's just really good. There's probably no single stage in the game where I would say that if you can use Manic Eraser, Manic Mohawk is also good because of the Craze Cat, unless there's money restriction or so on. But yeah, I just think Manic Mohawk might be a little bit based, but I end up using him quite a lot in single stage no gacha challenges. Just as especially if Eraser gets one shot by a lot of the enemies, you just bring Manic Mohawk anyway. Manic Mohawk A tier, Craze Cat S tier? No. I rank them both. Manic Eraser S tier, this one's easy. It's the most efficient, cost efficient for health meat shield you have that is not Eraser. So there is nothing that comes close to the power of Dual Eraser. And when it was in the Prime, and it still applies today, Dual Eraser is a really good combo for no gacha. You just need to have the money and the damage to support it. So Manic Eraser easy S tier. Maybe I'll create a category between Bahamut, like S plus or something. But it definitely goes into one of the best units in the game. Support units. Okay, and we can move on. Let's see. I know, again, Brave is going to be controversial. Maybe people want me to put him up, but in 2026 no one's using him, alright? If you want to beat that level called Unkept Promises, you're not in 2026, alright? Manic Macho Legs, actually, this one might be a bit of a funny tier as well, but I'm going to put Manic Macho Legs in C tier because of one enemy called Zolo, and he can counter Zolo fairly well. Otherwise, he would go lower. If it was like 2016, this kid would be an S tier, but today, unfortunately, the stats just don't really do that well. But he's still fine, he just doesn't do enough. Manic Lion, easy B tier, minimum. Manic Lion you can use to initiate Bahamut chains, you can use just as a temporary space filler. I'm going to put him a bit lower, because he is expensive, which is the main problem, of course, with Manic Lion. But yeah, he's just a fast meat shield. Used him on Adherence to Virtue to meat shield for the Bahamut cheese. So, in my opinion, still a good unit. There's a lot you can do with him. I feel like maybe he should go a bit lower, because I'm a bit biased. But he's still fine, because he works well with Bahamut, so I'll go B tier. Manic UFO is going to suffer the same fate as Flying, although Manic UFO is better. It's just fallen off over the years. There's just no real stage you want Manic Flying in anymore. I can't think of one. I literally can't. It's just Brave Dog's Bone and maybe Protein Cartel, but even Protein Cartel you cheese. So there's no reason. Just for the cat combo. Manic Island, also another B tier. I feel like the B tier units are kind of creeping up in value. A little bit, considering what I have below them. But Manic Island, yeah, we just got Le Prude, or Le Rouge, whatever you want to call it. And Manic Island is a fairly solid counter to Le Prude. Otherwise, yeah, it's just a decent general damage. You can control peons relatively well, considering that he's around 10 years old. So, yeah, go into B tier literally for one enemy. Maybe I'll put him down, because Le Prude is not necessarily as threatening. It might be in the future. Let's do this for now. Bondage can go up, because Trinity is hard. Dragon, okay. We're not considering the cow combos, so... Well, he does have one cat combo with Mohawk. So I guess you could do this. Nah, I'll put him in D tier. Just no level you want to use Manic King Dragon on without the cat combo. Not anymore. What criteria is this? The criteria is no gacha, 2026 levels and power creep, and also no gacha cat combos. So that is why Panic Dragon is that low. Otherwise you'd go up like 5 tiers. Hi, yes, hi Kaibora. B tier dam, yes. Colosseum, where everything costs 10 cents, Manic Flying could do good if done no gacha. I don't know. I guess. I did that Colosseum no gacha with more restrictions because that was a challenge. Delayed the entire stream, unlucky. Obviously, a no gacha playthrough, you take into account min slot challenges, no power creep. Was it factoring gacha unit synergy and competition? No, I'm not considering no power creep. So all of these units are ranked based off the current state in the game of no gacha anyway. MKD sits in Standum's blind spot. I've actually, but Standum, like, we have Uval for Standum. I don't know if, yeah, in 2026 it doesn't matter. But in, well, no power creep it might have. Would you ever use Manic Jamiola? Oh, we're getting to that. Wait, why is Titan in C tier? Okay. Wait, this is if Jamiola is D tier, this kid gotta go down. I might refine it a little bit later, but that looks alright for now. I don't think I've ever used him. Oh, he works on 1 level, and you never use him again. Actually 2 levels, Thorny Dialogue and that other one. Oh, I guess 3 levels because of the Perfect Cyclone. That one, Debut, and Thorny Dialogue, and that's it. Not in 2026. Hello, we got another Battlecat streamer, yes. Bad last. Unlucky Kilo. Well, you're here now. Hello. Hope this group's going well. This girl is not relevant. But Laprude is a thing. You see, this unit is complete dog water, but she does have a cat combo which gives strong effect medium. And if you use the full Seasons of Love plus 3 Kings cat combo, which is a classic one, it's technically good, but we're not living in 2018. So I don't know how relevant it is. I guess you could do it for Dark Laser, but at that point, maybe just Research is better. It's all dependent on how strong, like, Uval is in the level, how strong Dark Laser is in the level, and so on. So I'm going to leave that in C tier for now, because it is actually not terrible to have efficient units. Alright, never mind, I have misspelled everything I say is invalid. Oh, okay. All good. Is your power yet complete? Just got the power back, W. Can't sleep, okay. What's your progress in the Battlecats? I have 19,000 user rank on a 10-year-old account, and I have 10,000 user rank on an 11-month account, which, by the way, in 1 month I will give away, so I'll make a video on that soon. Cabaret Cat. Okay, it's just bad Macho Cat. Except it has 9 speed, which doesn't matter. Koi Cat will be in exactly the same tier list as position as Unicycle. It's literally used for Bahamut cheese, and that is all. The other speed cat combo is much better. This will end up probably higher than Dragon, or around Dragon level, because you use this in 2 cat combos, with Seasons of Love and 3 Kings. Maybe goes up a little bit, but Madam is actually not a bad tanker. Secondary tanker, if you need extra health, and you have a lot of money, so it's not terrible. Alright, you're new. Okay, all good. Juliet Fishman Sports Girl actually goes crazy. It's not taking into account cat combos, remember? Gacha cat combos. Just no gacha cat combos. Again, otherwise this would be shot up way more. I just gotta check whether the stream is being... My face cam is blocking the tiers. I don't think it matters, like everyone knows Bahamut is like S tier, right? I will move my face cam a little bit though. Okay, that's cool. That works. Well, we got through a lot of the lists, so let's keep on going. Hey, arguably Call Center's not worse than these ones, because it's actually got a knockback ability. Same as Val. Hey, maybe Val's used once. Maybe you can use Val in like one stage. Maybe she's usable one time in 2026. Charlie, I'm gonna put C tier. I like Charlie. Might be a little bit based, but I like him. It's still a good metal CC. Although outdated. Lolly does exist, but Charlie you could use as backup. Like Sir Metal Seal, I know nowadays usually have piercing enemies with, but Charlie's fast. He's got a decent uptime and procs rate, and he also is just not bad in my opinion still. But he's just not used nowadays. A combo is Kowlon and MKD really so good? Yeah, it is. Phone Clock combo with D-Laser is really solid. Really? What is that? I don't remember what that is. I'm checking right now. I don't know if that's a raid bait or not, so I'm just checking. Okay, so let's see. Office Lady, is it? No, it's not. What is it? Cat Cannon initial charge. Okay. You know, that's valid. That is valid. I will move it up slightly. That's valid. Initial charge is nice because a lot of levels have enemies that spawn at a certain time, so you can charge your Cat Cannon to interrupt the enemies. So I will move up Office Lady 1 tier, because that actually seems like a valid cat combo as tech for rush stages. You know, Skelecat should definitely go up. What the fuck? Skelecat is not this bad. Skelecat is better than this. Let's move that up and move that around here. That seems pretty valid so far. With Kowlon, yeah, I mean, Pion for 2 is good. Starting money is nice. True, actually true. I forgot about that. That also goes up because of that simple interaction. Bombercat, ooh, C tier. Bombercat, still relevant today, but Ponus are literally making stages to try and stop Bombercat from being used. But he's still, yeah, he's still good. Actually, you can use Bombercat in Lost Trinity, so hey, he should go on B tier, right? By the way, what I mean by Ostrinity, I mean cheesing Ostrinity. So that's pretty fucking good. If you can cheese that. W Bahamut tier being new. Yeah. I think everyone knows what how good he is, so what's the point of naming it, you know? No reason. Let's move on. We have more dog shit. And Ururun. Okay, C tier. I'll be nice to Ururun. At least she has some DPS, okay? She has some DPS. She's not that bad. Actually, you know, Ururun, if Urz is not terrible, then Ururun's like, yeah, definitely C tier, right? Kung Fu X, I wish this was good. Hoopmaster, C tier as well. I'm just gonna put in the same category as Charlie, probably higher. Because setting up a perma-freeze against Metal Seal can be pretty important sometimes. But otherwise, yeah, Hoopmaster, again, most levels aren't going to give you the luxury of setting up infinite CC and doing cheese strategies, so let's just leave them there. Bahoth solos Razorback anywhere, lol. With Jetpack, maybe. Nyandam, oh, D tier. You're never using Nyandam today. I'm gonna zoom out, so yeah, okay. Next. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, chat. Is this valid? Should I include... Actually, yeah, no, hold on. Do I include healer? Yay or nay? Can I poll? How do I poll this? Also, I should mod healer. Lil Nyandam has a nice slow combo, I guess. But, okay, fine. I'll put him up a little bit. Now let me mod Kilo quickly. Is healer being included? Yeah, that's the point. Yeah. Healer permafreeze. Because healer's a collab unit, so I don't know whether I should include that interaction in this ranking. Because if healer permafreeze is not going to be included, that shoots way down. At least a tier. Healer should get its own tier, yeah. Healer's S tier. Or maybe even like close to bottom mid tier. Cheeses are peak, yes they are. But healer's just he's just crazy. Healer's included, then yeah. If healer's included, then I'm probably gonna put B tier, otherwise I'll put in C tier. Healer's fully accounted for, then at least A tier. No, not that strong. Not that strong. In my opinion, not that strong. But to be fair, it is the whole point behind healer. But healer also functions by himself. So the question is, do I put him in B tier and include healer or not? And put him in C tier. Maybe I'll get back to that later, because people seem to be a little bit indecisive. And I'll just get through a little bit more garbage. I said Neodam had a nice slow combo. Fine. Fine. Vanaman actually also decent, so I'll put in C tier. Or whatever you call it. I have to zoom out again. Ooh, Bowser. Okay, I'll get to Bowser after I read chat quickly. Oh, it's my tier list. Okay, good point, Kaipo. Healer cheese for Udall, by the way. Yes, but you don't need freeze combos for that. Probably put it off for later. Yeah. I'll come back to this guy. Same with the this guy here. Okay, Bowser, I know this will be a little bit controversial, maybe. I'm gonna put top of C tier, only because Catburger exists. To be fair, no one's using this shit. Yeah, no one's using this shit. Because it just gets pierced. But it's better than Mohawk. It's definitely better than Mohawk. If you need permastalls for Bonbons, then Bowser is your go-to. And I will show you why later. I'll put Bowser above these combo units. Again, this is a bit of a weird ranking for Bowser, but you'll understand later. Little Cat is pretty decent. I just don't use Little Cat nowadays, but if you can use Eraser, Little Cat's never bad, because he has the same speed. Copy it and put one without healer and one with healer. Okay, you know, what I'll do is I'll copy the link, because I have the link. And I'll just put it in chat. Maybe I'll pin it too. This is a public tier list. I should have done this as soon as I started the stream. Oh boy, you see some really good units coming up. Yes, you do. I'm just going to pin that. And if you want to rank them yourselves, there's the link. Are we including talents? Yes, absolutely. I like Little Mohawk. Hold on. Even with that combo, he's got good niches. Yeah. Wave immune mid-shield's never going to be that bad, especially when 2 cans exist, so yeah. Only one player I know who uses Bowser consistently, it's a meme. Okay. Good day, Keanu. What's good, Keanu? I know who that is. It's Keanu. It's not Keanu. I think so, anyway. I'm just making an assumption. Yeah, I'm gonna leave Lil Mohawk top of C tier because he does have his uses, but I don't use him as much. So I don't think he fits B tier as well. He's too niche. Little Evasa, easy high A tier. Whenever you see Old Stretch, you immediately go to Little Evasa. So Little Evasa is immediate A tier at minimum. Especially because freeze resist is good, and it's also got defense talents and Soul Strike, I guess, but you're never gonna unlock that. But yeah, it's just good. Toxic immune, toxic resist is still fine. Yes, that it is. Thank you, Keanu. Also, another question: is Little Lion better than Little Mohawk with wave immune talents? Little Lion is worse. Actually, well, you can cheese Austrinity with it if you include Commander, which I would. So technically, I should include Healer as well with the permafreeze, because Commander is not on this list. So I'll leave Marshmallow at that B ranking. It's worse than Vice Ball or Mavesa, so I wouldn't place him in that highly, but he's better for zombies and full count, exactly. He's good for one enemy and for zombies. Oh, 100%. High Kilo, yes. Betting my bucks Newton will be at the top of S. We'll see. Hi, hello Jeffrey. No mutant Socrates. Okay, you know, I'm gonna be that later. And move on. Okay, I don't know how good Little Dark is, but I assume if you can set up a permafreeze on certain levels, it can just break the game, so I'll put him in high C tier. Catburger goes with Bouncer, simply because they are the same speed. I know we'll get to Coin Cat later, and Coin Cat will be put in exactly the same tier. It just turns out that having 3 meat shields of the same speed, and also having 75 costs, is just pretty good. So I'll leave them at this kind of relative position for now. And I'll move on to this, which arguably just gets the Marshmallow Cat rating, but probably lower, because you don't always use it with Healer. Sometimes you just want Permafreeze with Bundle, like on Tropical Garden. So yeah, Healer's the only reason why these units are high. And we're gonna move on. Cat's Gifts. I don't know if Cat's Gift is good. Someone in chat, please give me a bit of guidance here. Is Cat's Gift good? Hello everyone, yes, cool. Hey, it's called Poultrio. Okay, sure. Correct me again. Yet another freeze combo slave, exactly. I use Catburger a lot in Cat of the Cosmos. Yeah, it's also decent there, but it's 2026, so Cat of the Cosmos technically isn't an issue because you would use Baja Blast against it because it's 2026. We're considering the Power Creep. Catburger over Bouncer, it means that Tavi prefers... Okay. I've used him a few times, he's alright. He's good with the other units, but I just need a bit of guidance on this unit here, Cat's Gift. Because I've used him in exactly one level, and never used him again. And you literally don't need to, because you can heal a cheese the stage. And that stage is called, it's the one, like, with Doba, Stickman, and multiple Croakleys. I forgot what it's called. It's like in mid-UL. But you can use that unit there just to freeze the idiot. Because it's just a chance to freeze Sindoba. But you can heal a cheese it anyway and just perma-freeze Doba like that, so it doesn't matter. He's literally he'll never be better than CAT or Little Dark, so he's bad. You mean Cat's Gift? If so, I'll trust the word for it. I'll put him in D tier. But not that low, because he actually does something against Sindoba. And maybe Borfin. I don't know if you have injured Borfin though. I'm trusting Capo's word here. I'm learning so much about units right now. Oh, this is not a no power creep list. This is a complete list of power for current standards of difficulty. Okay, yeah, I'll leave him there then, Capo. I'm trusting Capo's word on it. Macho Leg. I also need a bit of guidance because I never use this unit because I think it's dog shit nowadays. To be fair, he was useful in ZL24, the one with Mina and Alien Cyclone, so he can't be that bad. I'll just put him with Loincloth. I don't really know how good he is, but he's a barrier breaker, he's a shield piercer, so yeah. Tried using him for no gacha, no creep, we'll meet again originally. It's so weak. Nah, I don't even bother. Enemies? Oh, what do you mean? Let's move on. Little Lion, I'm just gonna put him in the Little Cat slop here. You can cheese Trinity with Little Lion, so I mean, sure he has some value, but unless you're insane, you're never using Little Lion on a real level. That's not floor 49, and floor 49 is already, you know, cheesable, or free, or easy, or so on, so... It's only 26, alright. We're factoring the power creep. He's okay for shield pierce, but he's good for Catacosmos to some Mr. Cosmos stages. Okay. I'll put him above then. I'll deem to put him in the low cat slop tier, which again, this is kind of like my grey area. I don't really know that well. But I do know that low flying is bad, so let's just put him there. He does have a freeze combo, but that's a gacha freeze combo. He does get relic targeting, so you can use him on one level. Literally one level. I've seen him be used on in current times. That was Sunfish 4, as in Jumbo Jones 4, where Fuchu did a 2-slot strategy with little flying, because little flying has typing. But like, okay, come on, you're not using this, right? Let's be real. Unless I get convinced otherwise. I see a cat that deserves its own tier. Well, let's see if I see the same thing that Coda's seeing. Ah, okay, I see Golfer. Okay, Drone Cat. Slightly above. Same thing, he's got a research combo. But the research combo is just... yeah. It's a cat combo, and you only use it for that. You don't... you don't ever use Drone Cat in 2026, alright? He's too expensive. Okay. Biobone's gonna go higher than that. Or at least Biohazard's gonna go higher. That doesn't just... it just doesn't look right seeing zombie below those dogshit units. I guess, but who cares? Yeah. Just Jumbo Jones 4. It was a strategy from Fuchu, that's all. I do not remember a single other stage where it's good. It's like... you have dog shit with flying, and then you have a dog shit with less range and just like some other funny typing with just little flying. So there's no way it's like going up there. No boost clutch for Jumbo Jones. Okay, it's fine. Hey, just mind you, I'm watching the ranking. Okay. Let's see, where's Cat Tornado? Oh, coming right now. Okay. Let's see. Let's put him in C tier. Simple. Actually, Metal Doge exists, right? Metal Doge exists, so B tier. If Metal Doge wasn't an enemy, then we'd go into C tier. But because Metal Doge is an enemy, B tier. Just probably the best way to get rid of Metal Doge. You got the chance of immediately removing it, and yeah, you just attack fast. Apart from that, yeah, would not go higher because it's just not reliable enough as damage. A lot of the time, you can actually get Cat Tornado to attack and then miss, make another more important attack miss. Like, for example, Cat Tornado crits a Metal Hippo, a Super Metal Hippo, and then your Soba misses. So, I don't like using him for general metal damage, only for specifically Metal Doge and Metal Hippo. There's your ranking, Cat Tornado. Where's my Goatfish Man? Bye. Cat Typhoon is nice for pretty much every metal stage. But with Kari, and you have almost never lose the metal. That's true. That's if the metal enemies have Metal Doge. If they don't, then you never use them. Soberg, Craze Monaco. Craze Monaco, we'll see where she goes later. He's Gacha, yes. Not here, yes. Not here. Daniel, not here. Or Yusuf. Hey, you're the person from Reddit. Hello. I think you are anyway. Okay, Mina. Mina, C tier. But somewhere in the higher C tier, because Mina is not as bad as Urudun. Let's just put Mina with the Catburger slot. Now, Mina, the problem with Mina is that Mina is just worse than Newton, so no one's using Mina because she's getting outclassed. But that does not mean she's unusable. She is still not terrible. And I tried using her in a ZL stage recently. I don't remember what it was. But I think I did try, and she just didn't work. So unfortunately she'll go on C tier. But I don't think she's as bad as Urudun, because Urudun is just completely outclassed. Right? Doesn't matter. I'll take it. You say you heard the Reddit did vote you as the best critter. Totally not Luke. Well, it's not that. It's more like the best critter over the course of the game, maybe. Best critter in 2026? Well, no, because you're getting one shot by the Puffingtons, which are like 180%. So there's definitely something there. RNG Slave? Not necessarily, because it does have a fast attack time. So 44,000 health plus fast attack time means that you will eventually just brute force the Metal Doges. Mina is good to pair with Golfer. Yeah, it is, but you're not using that in 2026. Wanna be Golfer? Yeah, I guess. Why is Pinter Cat in D tier? Cavity through Little Cat Awakens? It's 2026. You like Waitress because your crit RNG is absolutely awful. Same here. I like using Waitress as well. So she will go probably higher B tier. She is still relevant in 2026. The most recent, second most recent ZL update had a medal stage, and you can literally just, you can sober the first Super Metal Hippo. It will be left with around, I would say, 1,400 health, or maybe 3,000 health, and then you can just get the other chip critter damage in and kill it. The stage I'm talking about is like Office Issues or something, ZL 2027-6. So anytime you see those kind of bulky metal enemies which you need a timer for and you need to kill them eventually, Soba's going to be good. Best, of course, the best matchup is Super Metal Hippo because, well, the damage just lines up nicely. Of course, with the new ZL buffs, that's not the case, but it's still relevant because it will leave the Super Metal Hippo on really low HP. So I like Soba. It's also good for stalling out medals at the start because she attacks slowly, so opponents have to be careful about that as well. Waitress also one-shots SMH if level 50, unless in ZL, yeah, but it's 2026, so she goes in B tier. Otherwise, yeah, I'd be happy to put her on A tier if she one-shot Super Metal Hippos, but she doesn't. Thank you. Oh no, poor Awadori. Is this unit even good though? Where's where are they? They have 8 speed, okay. 8 speed is the same speed as a Razor. Okay. So I don't think anyone uses him though. Grooving Cat is the worst true form. Well, here's the matter of the fact. For me anyway. Actually, I'm gonna move the Lookout up. Here's my point of view. Eraser has 8 speed, Awa Odori has 8 speed, Little Cat has 8 speed, so you can use these 3 meat shields in conjunction to create a really difficult to break through front line if there's no backline pressure, like LD and stuff. So if you have a stage that's trying to brute force their way through your front line, then you can have a solid front line with the same speed meat shields. That's why I like probably put Awa Odori up here. Maybe here, because this is like the meat shield category, right? Otherwise, yeah, you're never using him. The Behemoth dodge chance. The Behemoth usually just one-shot him. You want to use damage rather than meat shields against them most of the time. Like, just bring Nala, Courier, Ural, and so on, rather than try and meat shield. So, yeah. And most Behemoths also have Pierce. So there's not really much point. It's just too low. I agree, Kaipora. Combo Slave or something? It is a combo slave with Himiri Ninetales, but that's gacha. Unfortunately, that Research L combo is not allowed for this tier list. At least that's how I'm putting it. Grooving Cat uses Behemoth Stones, so it's hard to get. You can think about it as well like this. It's 2026. In theory, if you had the unit, I'm ranking these units based off not how easy they are to get or anything, or how practical they are, just how good they are. That's also another reason why Valkyrie is in S tier, because it's practical to use a talented Valkyrie. It just might not be practical to talent her, you know? So yeah. I'm considering the true form, and even with the true form, it's just not good. The Behemoth chance dodge, like, what's the point? Just bring something better. V-Train easy S tier, yeah. Not high A critter. The reason again I'm gonna put Bullet Train in S tier is because of the cheese potential. And just Bullet Train takes quite a bit of skill to use as well. It was also like that in the past before the true form. Then the true form came, is like really good, and then it's faded away in the 6 to 7 updates. Unironically, 6 to 7 updates that have happened during that time. But it's just good for cheese. Speed clipping, very common strategy is to use Bahamut and Bullet Train on Adherence to Virtue, so you have meat shields to stop the Doge Darks from killing Bahamut. So, what can I say? Alright, what can I say? Bullet Train, just really good. That is maybe a little bit based though, but it's always a strategy to keep in mind. A cheese, and if worst comes to worst, it is a 47,000 damage, nearly uninterruptible attack that will hit an enemy, which you can get double money off. So hey, even take away the cheese, I would agree. Yeah, maybe low A, maybe low A, maybe B. But the fact that you can speed clip through stuff, yeah, bullet train's gonna go up there. So yeah, that's the common list so far. Looks pretty good. Also supplementary damage and the defense is good. Yeah, the defense is nice to have. You can also stack bullet trains on some levels. Like you can have bullet train hit an enemy that's close to your base, and then he'll stay there and then he'll attack again. That's always a really nice feeling. Jump beam of stones 2036, what are you doing? No, that's not really the point. The point is that I'd assume that every unit is in the maximum value form for this tier list. Bullet Train is good Russia, yeah, that too. It's just immediate damage. I believe, makes 441 rushable too. It's actually in the same amount of stages you can clog the deploy limit in and speed clip chain. Yeah, that's interesting. Golfer is good for cheesing stages. Well, we'll get to that. Where are we now? Okay, I'm gonna put Golfer in. I'm gonna put Golfer low. To be fair though, there was I like Golfer, and there was one stage in ZL where you could cheese, like outright cheese. I will link it because this is a ZL stage, everyone, and it has a 2-crown version. So I might end up using Golfer in the 2-crown version, unironically, just to try cheese it. But I don't think it's possible. Let me find it though, because yeah, this is a ZL stage that will get a 3-crown very soon, and the 3-crown version is easier than the current 1-crown version because of this strategy. So let's post that in there. ZL Golfer cheese. So yeah, I'm gonna put him in C tier. You don't use him nowadays in 2026. I guess if you factor in healer, then maybe. But I think opponents have kind of diverted away from doing stages that have infinite spawns of small peons, so you can't really do that much anymore. Maybe there'll be some exceptions in the past. Wonder if there's a video about him. Nah, I don't know if there is. Might be the featured video on my channel. See for cheese, yeah. High STR accounting for no power creep, but currently he's mediocre. Yeah, for no power creep, Golfer's easy S tier. I think he would honestly go in a tier above S, because without Golfer you can't beat a lot of levels. You literally can't. But because we're including 2026 power creep, and only considering those levels in the current state they're in, C tier. You choose the 2-crown version with Rich Count because you're lazy? Yeah, sure. That's fine. I mean, you don't need Rich Count, it's fine. If you bring it anyway. What's next? Let's see. Oh, I opened YouTube. You can see me open YouTube. That's what it is on, right? It's on YouTube. Well, you can see my page now. Yeah, I do watch Clash Royale. I do play Geometry Dash, and I do play DVD, and I do watch Shichi and Manic. Okay, whatever. Next unit, cafeteria. Oh, oh, cafeteria. Oh, cafeteria. Yeah, I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back because chat's gonna say something about cafeteria, right? Chat will say something about cafeteria. And I wanna see what chat will say about cafeteria. So I'll get some water or milk or whatever. Yeah. How many comments are there? Not many, actually. What did Kaipora say? Good curse chance, can't wait to kill Papu, second easiest merciless advent with this unit you unlock from 10-star stage. Appears once a year. Okay, but no one's actually said a ranking yet, right? Okay, Coda said S, Yusuf said A tier. Okay. What a blessing this unit is. It's so easy to get, yes. Ramen and cafeteria, a great combo. Well, that's all true. That's all correct. Except Yusuf. Yusuf is not correct, because cafeteria is going in S tier. I don't care what anyone's gonna say about, oh, single target, whatever. A single target. Okay. To be fair, bullet train could go up. TBH, yeah, that looks valid. That looks valid. Hold on, let me get my computer charged. Bonus were like, hey, we just made a new enemy called Angelic Goku Rako. You know what would suck? Is if we didn't have an angel for it. And it turns out that they gave us that. They gave us a counter to Angelic Goku Rako to make it pretty irrelevant. And also, he's a good generalist. Also, he's got 27,000 health. Also, he just is cheap, fast to deploy, and is fast. And also, just is good. So yeah, let's leave him there, alright? I'm convinced that Cafeteria is one of the best no-gacha generalists. At least for single target and rushing. So flipping easy to get, correct. Even if they make an Angel Ostrich, no, it'll outrange, but still. Probably low A, Kaipora, okay. To be fair, this is a subjective tier list, so I'm putting him in this. Without doubt goes in S tier. I've talked up Cafeteria a lot, but I can understand that... I can understand that a lot, but I think Cafeteria is a blessing. And I will take it. Pentai prioritize specialist, but he's one of the most destructive against his target trait, so it's valid. Yeah, Bubble's also destructive, but Bubble's not a rusher, and I do like putting emphasis on how good rushers are, so Cafeteria goes up there. Again, his general damage is just good for challenges as well. Every time you see Angelic Gori or Goku Rako, Cafeteria is your go-to. He's got speed, he protects other stuff like Koryo. It's good. Little Island. Yeah. Little Island is kind of more like a one lineup kind of goat, because he's a critter. Otherwise, I really got to use him more. He might actually do alright against the Leprude, but he is quite slow. Just his main drawback. I'm just going to leave him with Manic Island, or maybe slightly above Bondage and Bomber. Because he does have viable use. It's just, he's a bit slow. I wish he was Manic Island speed, to be honest. Little Beach Cat is always known for his crit. Yes, 7% chance to crit, and a 1.4% chance to crit wave is pretty dumb. Oh, Kaipora thinks it's S tier? Okay. That's valid. I haven't used Little Island enough to know how good he is, but for like those kind of challenges like Heavenly Tower and so on, where you pretty much need a critter for one lineup, yeah. Little Island's gonna do that for you. Insane crit if it lands, breaks Aku and Red. Okay. I'll put him in A tier. Well, Kaipora's definitely influencing a bit of my decision making. But I trust that. Better version of Manic Island? Well, Manic Island's faster, so that is a pretty significant drawback to Little Island, but yeah. Okay, I can understand Little Island in A, alright? But S is pushing it. Because you don't need to do lineup like one lineup all the time. To be fair, that's one of the reasons I've put Cafeteria in S tier, but whatever. Like, Vice Ball's the same Same issue with like one lineup challenges, right? I can use West Ball so much in there. The one lineup pill, yeah. Little lizard, LKDS tier. Where are we putting LKD? What part of S tier are we putting LKD in? I actually want to put LKD like above these guys here. This looks pretty valid though, right? LKD around here. That looks pretty valid. Like CAT is like kind of broken. Sure. The weekend's kind of screwed as well. But like the Dark Laser is kind of just anti-red as well. Like maybe you don't need CAT all the time against black enemies. I don't know. Like LKD there makes some sense. The best, by far the best anti-surge meat shield ranged in the game, right? You can't beat Kawano without this unit, right? You cannot beat Kawano no power creep with this unit. And even with power creep, I would assume it's quite difficult. So you need Lord King Dragon for sure. Best in his role and it's not even close. Absolutely, he's just better than He's just better than King Dragon as well. He's 20% better in stats. Has survive, has mini wave, and anti surge. So just really solid. And yeah, D-Laser and Meraser have alternatives. That's true. That is true. But when they do work, they really shit on the enemies. And Meraser allows you to bring attackers like Dark Laser. You know. Unlike Vice Ball. When you have Vice Ball, it's more like one lineup thing where you really needed that versatility. But Meraser works fine and gives you that opportunity. Again, I'm not as one lineup oriented, so I'm putting like I think this makes sense. Dark Laser though, I guess Dark Laser is more of like a one lineup guy, right? Okay. Okay. It's not really much of a difference, huh? Delay, no, I believe it. LKD doesn't, yeah, that's true. It's the only option for range stackable damage, also anti-surge, also survive, and mini-wave. That's true. Single jammy is like every other jammy is, yeah. So when you aren't using a full lineup, it brings money issues. Exactly. So a lot of the time when I was playing ZL, no gacha, now I'm trying one lineup. I'm still using my Neko Razor though. But yeah, for one lineup, I'm still leaning towards Manic Razor mode for the time. Low slots, Vice Ball's fine. One lineup, Vice Ball's also fine, but more in a general sense. But yeah, I can see LKD being around this area. Okay, definitely above CAT, huh? Definitely above. Somewhere here. Somewhere here. It's hard to say. Because I really like Manic Razor. I think he deserves a tier of his own. Hey Wobble, what's good? We're just ranking Little Jammy over now. Where does this bro go? It's complete ass unit. What does bro even have? Like some resists? Like resist surge? I don't know. I mean, he's just jammier but slower, no? Okay, let's put him C tier, fine. I'm not gonna be that mean to him. He's not that bad. Kinda crazy though, how many units we've passed already, and there's still a lot to go. Oh, we're getting to Musashi, okay. LKD above Cafeteria, as he's well, he has more niches than Destroying Angels. Oh, I mean, Kaipoa is right. You can't replace LKD. If there's surges and they're relevant, then yeah, LKD is irreplaceable, pretty much. Highness Road might be the only exception, but even then, LKD is pretty good. Good night, Kilo. Oh, actually, no, good night, Kaipoa. I misread it. Okay. Radical Cat. Huh. C-tier. Whenever you see Peter Owl, you look at Radical Cat. So, pretty much a counter to Peter Owl in a way, but still not that strong. So you're using him mostly on a lineup restriction thing, but he's not bad. He's not bad at level 50. He actually does pretty alright against behemoths. And his damage output isn't irrelevant either. He'll work on behemoth stones, unlucky. First and second forms, he's rank dumps, yeah. It's also good for that, but we're not considering that in the tier list. Good than that. He's a niche for behemoth, yep, that's correct. Let's move on. Zoom out again. Musashi. Hey, ironically, I'm gonna put Musashi a little bit higher. Because I think Musashi, I think it's actually better than me, you know? I mean, he's got wave immune, so there are actually not many no gacha units that have, like, wave immune. So Musashi can actually function. Last time I used him was in, like, ZL24, or, like, ZL22. So he's not terrible if you need wave immune, but he's really not that good either. You got it now? Alright. See you then, Yusuf. Musashi is with Mina. No, I'm putting him slightly above. Ooh, Zamboni. Ooh, Zamboni. Ooh. Zamboni would usually be easy S tier with no power creep, but with power creep, not many people are using this unit anymore. It's better to just use specialist stuff rather than a generalist tank. So I think you can safely go into B tier. That looks about right, I think, for Zamboni. I'm not sure, maybe... no, this would say. Zamboni's just solid. He's still fine. He's got a good amount of health. He can act as a wall. People like using stone nowadays, but Zamboni's still good for low DPS enemies. Easily A tier is a good tanker. Yeah, I can see A tier as well. I can see that as well, but a lot of stages now they do try and kind of burst you down with damage, so Zamboni doesn't last as long as stone. Honestly surprised you put Musashi that high. There was one level I used him in, that's why I was putting him that high. It's 2026, cleaner bot time. True. You value Mina much more due to LD. Well, again, this is a tier list. I'm not sure if the criteria is laid out properly, but this is a tier list for 2026 and 2026 only. So we're not considering no power creep. This is assuming that you've completed everything in the game and you're trying to play stages. Like how often you would use the units and how good they are when you use them. Eggy Cat, look, Eggy Cat can guarantee slow, so maybe you can use him against Sindoba, I'm not sure. Maybe because he's more reliable than Cat's Gift, I'll put him above. But really not good. Monarchy. Monarchy is a good combo. Unfortunately, Monarchy... The problem is that Monarchy's release date for English Global was like 2 years ago. So, for no power creep, you can't really obtain him that easily. But otherwise, yeah, really good unit. This little cat combo. Put him up high C. Okay. Green Shadow 2026. Run egg pod there. Yep. Zamboni forever. There's a chance. Slugcat. Okay, next unit. Hermit. Oh, Hermit fell off big time. Hermit fell off huge. But you can still use him. He's not terrible. I'll put him in high C tier. Problem with Hermit is that you have stuff like Yulala and Nala nowadays who just do sorry. They just do his job better. But Hermit is still fine to have reliable wave attacks. He's also relatively spammable and he still has good area coverage. So if you need to deal with the Zolos, you can use Hermit. And of course you have like a Super Metal Hippo or something. Yeah, you can use Hermit to stop the Zolos. Otherwise, yeah, it's just not really seeing much use because Nala is just so much better. It's just that simple. Hermit is used in low line stage sometimes. Alright, it's 2026, okay? If we're playing low line, we're playing Baja Blast. Coin Cat, I don't need to explain, because Coin Cat will go with the other 9-speed meat shields. Curry Cat. Ooh, Curry Cat. Let's go. There's another pretty good unit. I literally just used Curry Cat, so I'll put him in A tier. Mm. Or maybe B tier. Maybe B tier. Bullet sober. Curry Cat is the best ranged critter that's relatively stackable. So, well, it's the only one that's a ranged critter that's relatively stackable. So it makes him the best one. But I think a lot of people overlook Curry Cat because they just don't think he's broken. But he's actually really good as a temporary CC. The slow for 1 second can save you a lot of the time. For example, when a Super Metal Seal, or whatever it's called, Super Metal Seal, pushes forward, but then it's actually slowed for 1 second, and then your Meteors can catch up. So it can slave you a lot of the time at CC, and it's good for initiating CC chains. Unfortunately, it does have a bit of anti-synergy with Lollycat and Charlie, but that's not really too much of an issue, because you can always pair that with other stuff, like Cat Nova, which is what I use in the most current ZL28. You can do, other CC options too. The ones that are in C tier. So yeah, I think Kari is just good. The crit damage is really no joke, because when he crits, it is pretty painful for metal enemies. I'll check right now, but at level 50, I have a level 50 Kari on my main account. It does 10,000 damage, and he's also got 375 range. That is huge. That is really big. Best critter in the game? Okay, that's debatable, but it's, yeah, really, really strong against the average metal enemy. That's not Metal Doge or Metal Hippo. Only range critter Space is crying right now. Cat Tornado is not a range critter. He's a melee critter. And Soba is ranged, but okay, not stackable, and also has that burst damage, and it doesn't attack quickly. So, yeah, Kali Cat, yeah, and Manic Monaco is also kind of melee as well. But we'll get to Manic Monaco eventually. Let's get through more slob. I need to speed up. I need to speed this shit up, bro. Like, I'm not going quickly. Glass Cat immediately goes into A tier. Or maybe B tier. It's a little bit overshadowed now. Yulala, not good. But he's better than Hermit, so maybe literally only because Shachiko exists, I'll put him in B tier. If Shachiko didn't exist, he would easily go in C tier, but Shachiko is something that is full countered by Yulala. If you can set up a stepping stone which doesn't move, then Yulala will constantly knock it back and kill it. Nanoho and Catasaurus didn't exist is definitely Kari. Well, Nanoho is not necessarily the best critter because she has a big blind spot. Manic Monaco. I like this unit, but unfortunately she's not as good nowadays because her range is just makes her too vulnerable to attacks compared to. Is this it? Okay. Compared to like Kari, yeah. Well, sorry, not Kari. Compared to Soba, less damage. Sure, she attacks faster, but she's also more vulnerable with less range and also with a 1 second longer attack animation. So I'm just getting that. There it is. Yeah, so she's just more vulnerable than Kari, and so not Kari. And that's a real big issue because Soba's already very vulnerable doing that attack up time. On the contrary, though, I think Manic Monaco is one of the best anti-Metal Doge units there are, as well, with Cat Tornado. One of the best. $1 million also up there too, but yeah. Just vulnerable. Too vulnerable. Otherwise she'd be a bit higher. Mecha Bun, okay. You know, it's sad because I kind of want to put Mecha Bun higher because he has potential, but he's just not good. He is just terrible. So I said, yeah. Okay. Slow, stackable, good range, yeah. Okay, Glass Cat especially for towers. Yeah, exactly, in cappy stages. That's any kind of trailers enemy that's a problem. That's high range as well. Glass will do really well. Destroys Metal Cyclone. Oh, that's true. She does. She does solid Metal Cyclone. I'll bump her up a bit because of that. Not above Zamboni though. That doesn't feel right. Okay, next one. Cat God. Apparently, Cat God is really good with talents. So I'm gonna put him in B tier. I don't have any experience with talented Cat God, but if you can use him, yeah, he's pretty good. In 2026, if you can actually just use the unit, it's pretty decent in like more than 0 stages. So I would say, yeah, not terrible at all. We'll go into the B tier. Again, I don't have that much experience. Definitely seems better than Ulala, but I'm not sure where to go apart from that. Tourist is like Glass, but you set up chains instead, so I feel like Tourist should go below. It's just not as reliable as Glass because the attack frequency is not the attack frequency. The force swing is higher. It also does not have infinite health like Glass, except when it gets crit. So yeah, I feel like Tourist maybe goes above Bomber. I don't know if he will have any actual relevant use in ZL though. But it's good for stalling at the start too. So it's not terrible. This list is becoming really big now. Jeez. This is a huge list. Let me just reload stream. Just to make sure it's all working. Okay, it's working. Cool. Back to the tier list. Modern. Oh my, modern is really good. Actually, I'm gonna put a Razor down a little bit because I really don't see a Razor that often. That looks pretty valid. Modern is crazy. Modern is so good. Modern is the best in the game specialist meat shield. The best cost-efficient specialist meat shield in the game. At least for no gacha. For gacha, maybe Ramen comes a bit close, but no, Ramen's way better. But for no gacha, Modern is crazy, bro. Modern has like 120k health. It is not fair. I don't see any brutal advent units. They're coming up. Eventually. Problem with Modern is that opponents know that Modern exists, so they have to pair relics and metals with a lot more annoying enemies, or the very annoying enemies are relic and metal, which might render Modern Cat a little bit useless. But he's still so good. Like, Amos kind of counters Modern Cat, but the thing is, Amos is never killing Modern Cat, it's just knocking it back. So you can just use Google, and then your Modern Cats are invincible. Especially in that office issue stage. I'm going to keep on going back to it because I have a clear memory of Modern Cat carrying my R there. So let's stay with Modern Cat in A tier. It's just incredible. Would go in S tier, but it's just slightly below average general health, I would say. And the cooldown is a bit annoying to deal with. I mean, to be fair, it costs 105, and I literally just used in one line of challenge, so let's put him in S tier. Fuck it. It's my list. It's my list, man. Filibuster. Yeah. Okay. I'll put him above Cat God because I know Filibuster can be used in Ost Trinity, literally just for a single Arvost. So, okay. He has some usage, but not that many. If he had Behemoth Slayer, I think he would be pretty good, to be honest. But he doesn't, and he's only got one knockback. So, you really need to stall the enemies crazy well to make sure that Filibuster hits. Oh, and you can't push that much either, because then Filibuster will miss the attack. So yeah, I don't know how good Filibuster is. Same with Cat God. So I'll just leave him in B tier. Dogumaru. It begins. The UL legends begin. Nogumaru, I don't know. Definitely should be in B tier. There just aren't really many stages you can use him on at the moment, but he's still fine to tank trait lists. Like, whenever they print a trait list / relic stage, Nogumaru's always going to be good on it, because he's just got tons of health. He can nearly perma-stall Kari Comet. So, yeah, Nogumaru kind of crazy, and he's also got Behemoth Slayer, and of course the Slayer. Just, of course, a Zero Loser and so on, so he's not terrible in terms of those stats, but just not the best either. We've got Ubel now, of course. But yeah, he's still fast cooldown, fast speed, just, I feel like, outclassed in those areas. Catgod should go above Philip because he's really good with talents, and 432 towers. Fair? Okay, fair. That's valid. That's valid. I was only considering Ostrinity, so I guess Catgod is better in that sense, considering all the options. Also, Catgod carries Filibuster stage. I'm gonna try working on the strip or going to bed. See you and good luck. All good, bro. Seems like all the interest is petered out too. I don't know how long I've been streaming. It says 1.5 hours. I'm not even halfway through. Oh, I am more than halfway through, so that's cool. I have to edit the video too, so that's gonna be fun. But I'll help you with the script as well if you shoot me a ping or whatever. For the time though, let's get this shit done. Let's get it done. And good night, you. Mighty cat, mighty cat, mighty cat, mighty cat. Before I lose my mind, you're putting Mighty Cat above Manic Lion. Anywhere above is justifiable, but definitely above Manic Lion because Super Cat synergizes better with Bahamut. And he also weakens trait lists. And you know, I can actually see Mighty Cat being above Class. The reason for this is because Bahamut is just broken, and whenever you can abuse Bahamut more, you do that. Hello, Manic Lion and CTO is Manic Lasers and CTO is crazy. This is not a no power creep tier list, UNMAR. I did see your name in chat, and what's good, bro? What is good? I respect your videos, but I don't watch your channel because I am very picky about who I choose to watch. But I did see the 2-slot every boss in the game. That was pretty cool. What is new tier? Well, you can decide for yourself. The reason I put Manic Legs in C tier is because he counters Zolo, and Zolo is a nice enemy to counter. To be fair, Zolo in the current ZL state will not get one-shot by Manic Legs, so maybe he's not that good. But I can't be bothered doing math. I'm pretty sure he doesn't anyway. Yeah, it's Battle Blast tier. And yeah, hello, Mike. Only 4-star wave block and meat shield. Usually you just don't bother with wave blocking for 4 crown. Okay, well, next up we have complete dog. And after that we have complete complete broken. If you've never used slime before in the true form, yeah, you need to. Slime is crazy before the true form, but you weren't using slime a lot because it's hard to utilize him. It's hard to utilize him consistently in stages. Take this. That's no gacha, no power creep. What do you call it? No gacha, no power creep. Will meet again 3 crown. Takes around 3 times longer to beat than with power creep and with gacha, even without Bahamut explosion. To be fair, there's super kind there, but one of the main reasons is because Slime's speed means you have to be a lot more careful about how you use him. You can't play as aggressive with Slime. But with Power Creep, like Slime True Form's like the best, bro. It's the best. Otherwise, Slime is just... crazy. It's, no, I don't know how to put it. Slime is just crazy. Put slime in new tier, maybe silver chloride. Where Manju deserves to be, perhaps. I mean, if I put Manju in this tier, then I have to add another one above. It's hard to say, because this is an exclusive no gacha tier list, considering only no gacha strategies, not support for Ubers, you know? Otherwise, it could be a little bit different, because Dark Laser would not be this high if you're including gacha. But this is exclusively no gacha strategies only. And also no gacha collab strategies with healer, but healer and commando, like, they're technically no gacha anyway. Whatever. I'm gonna leave slime here. Otherwise, I need to put another category. And if I do have to add another category, which seems likely with some of the units coming up soon, I will move Baja Blast up again. Royal Guard S tier immediately. Look, if Cafeteria is good, Royal Guard is just as good, if not better. He's also got a crazy cat combo. He pretty much completely destroys any melee alien level, and completely destroys Jin 4A20. From experience, I can say that, because Jin 4A20 was mindless tapping of boxes with general damage rushes, and Royal Guard completely destroyed the stage. So let's just say Royal Guard easy S tier. I don't know if it's really better than CAT, because CAT is just that good, but Royal Guard really just completely destroys aliens. Relic's less so, but still crazy against Oldhorn and like Serval and those peons, so I don't know. It's kind of close. Maybe CAT wins because of the weekend and the area damage. So I went from great unit to be one of the best in the true form, absolutely. Royal Guard solos Buffington. This Doge base, I guess. You still need to be careful though. It's not a complete solo and brain dead strategy. You need to be a little bit careful. Yeah, I don't know. We'll get to it. Cat of a bear cat. A tier, easy A tier, not S tier. I don't know. Cat of a bear. I feel like I'm not seeing Cat of a bear usage nowadays in modern no gacha. At least for the current most difficult stages, which don't include 4 crown duel. I'm not considering duel that much of this, but so I meant 3 crown duel. But for 3 crown duel, he's crazy. For ZL, he's not good. The simple point, the simple reason is because most of the zombies are either not threatening enough to where Caliber Bear is useful, or they're too strong and they outrange Caliber Bear, so you only get to use him on the Unbury. And that leaves pretty much Zyklone as the only outlier, and Mini Zyklone that Caliber Bear can really be good against. Unfortunately, there are not many stages with Mini Zyklone and with Zyklone, so realistically, Caliber Bear, you're not going to see much usage. It's better to bring general damage against all the other threats in the level, and if you need a Z killer, you're going to go towards Cat Chief. But I think Caliber Bear still deserves A tier because you do have that versatility with the forms, and Insane Damage versus Traitless is a counter to Boar Junior, and if you use him properly in the second form as well, can be pretty decent. I don't know. I'm kind of convincing myself that he's B tier now, but I think A tier is still fine. It's just hard. It's just hard to find units that replace Caliber Bear, like outright replace Caliber Bear, because he's just that good. But then the stages don't really support Caliber Bear at the current movement, so it's hard to say that. Urza Fenrir is just Odin, but with Behemoth Killer, and Colossus Slayer, and with more range. Don't forget that. In their ZL stage with Zyklone, there is a singular one in ZL 18. But, I mean, one stage, okay? One stage. He's still going to go in A tier, not S tier. Urz. B tier. A or B? It depends how bad the behemoths are, really. The worst behemoth currently to deal with is Papu, or Papu, or whatever, Paupu, however you want to call it. That one's the worst because there are no counters except Urs. There are no outright counters anyway. Filibuster you could argue is a counter, but he doesn't even freeze, so maybe not. Dogumaru also technically counters, but because Dogumaru sits inside the range, most of the time what's going to happen is your Meechals will die around Dogumaru, and the specialist damage will knock him back. So it's not that Dogumaru is bad against the Papu, it's that everything else kind of dies quickly and then Dogumaru will follow. But Urs kind of counters that pretty well, and maybe I'll put Urs around here because it's all dependent on how bad the behemoths are. It's also good against Daeonil in a way, but we have Ural, so Ural is better than Urs against the Daeonil. So I'll leave her in B. She doesn't have that kind of hard cap that Dogumaru has with certain stages because the health is just absurd on certain levels, but it's not bad. It's hard to put Urs because again it's all dependent on the behemoth strength of the level, and currently ZL is not behemoths, so yeah. The gacha counterpart to Cadaver Bear, which Brainwash Island, but Brainwash Island is better, absolutely is better. Urs shouldn't be that high. No, Urs should be this high. Urs should be this high because she's a. You realize Urs has 25k DPS versus behemoths and also has some health. She has Urarun stats. She has Urarun stats, better range, weaken, which is better because you don't usually want to have an inconsistent knockback, and then she's got 2.5 times stats, attack, and times 0.6 damage versus behemoths, which is crazy. Alright, she nearly one-shots Wild Doge. And I don't know. She's just good against behemoths, but currently there's not much behemoths in the meta. The meta stages anyway. Kind of a big idea, I get it. Brainwash Island clearly better because of Dabu, and it's just better range, I think. Otherwise, yeah, Cadaver Bear would be fine. Gridiron, my poor Gridiron, will go into C tier. The problem with Gridiron is he just doesn't do anything. He does more than Calligraphy though, so I've got to admit, it's not terrible, but the best enemy matchups for Gridiron are the ones that kind of slip between 250 to 300, which are Reindeer and the Akupang. Otherwise, you are never touching this unit. If you don't see those enemies, you never touch this unit, he just doesn't do anything. 25k DPS against behemoths is crazy. It is, but consider the behemoths you're also going the DPS against. They're the behemoths which you can't really DPS down that well. Daeonil, you have Ural and you have not Nala. If you have Ural and you have Urs, and even then, I guess Urs technically takes wave damage at that point. I don't know. But against Papu, she's really the only reliable damage source that will actually contribute to the battle pretty well. Better range, more health, more damage, yeah. No curse. But where was I? I was in the middle of ranking Gridiron, which yeah. Again, if you don't see those enemies, Akupang and Midnight D, you're never bringing this unit. It just doesn't do anything. You could argue that he's an anti-surge meat shield for TikTok terraces on the last level, but like that whole level is anti-surge, so I mean that's pretty rare nowadays. LKD just outclasses Gridiron by so many light years that unfortunately it's C tier. Bubble, B tier. I just need to get through them quickly, there's not much left, and I don't want the VOD to be too long too. So yeah, Bubble, B tier. I feel like he could go A tier. I feel like he should go A tier because of the lack of anti-floating that no gacha has. So let's leave him there, because I don't think he's worthy enough to be S tier. Over the years, Bubbles has had a consistent problem with having 0 health. Technically, his damage output is also terrible, but they fixed that in the true form. But his health is still terrible, so you are not going to use him on a stage where those kind of fragile units are vulnerable anyway. And on a stage which you do use him, then you have to lure, and you could just Baja Blast and Cafeteria the Angels. And for floatings, that's kind of the better matchup for not for Cafeteria, for Bubble, because we have little Cyclone and those kind of enemies, little Bun Bun, and so on. So he does get value. The issue is just the health. The issue will always be the health, and his speed is also not great. But he's just so good as just immediate damage, and as also countering Brollo is really nice, that I think A tier is pretty deserved. Hate the Trailer's Behemoth Elephant so much, use Izanami and Defoner. Well, Izanami gets outranged, Defoner doesn't, obviously. But Urz has a higher DPS than a lot of stuff. Similar to Julie DPS, actually. Julie, I don't know if Julie gets outranged. Actually, Julie's high because she's stronger than Strayless. My bad. Bubble in B tier as well. Yeah, I'm with them. B stands for Bubble. Nah. It's only Angel DPS that outranges Wing Piggy. Correct. That's also another reason why he's there. But you can just Baja Blast that shit and he dies. Yes, I understand that. Baja Blast, Curse Blast kills Wing Piggy already, so most of the time it's not an issue. Okay, and time for a good niche units. I'm going to put this guy up here. Again, very few stages where you're going to use Chicken, but the stages you do, you are taking out a very important curse. And actually, maybe nah. Then it's not as important in Gacha. The most important curses you want to get rid of. Let me think. Does he have relic targeting? I don't think so. It's just immune to curse. Let me check. The most important ones you want to get rid of are Sleipnir, maybe even Tarsiriel at that point, Zeost. I don't really know past that for zombies. Mesocosmos Cyclone, those kind of warping enemies, and so on. He does have relic targeting. Okay, so you can curse some relics, I guess, which is nice, but not really necessary in no Gacha. Yeah, getting rid of a high pushing power enemy, getting that curse on them, really gotta feel good. Bathtub of Whimsy, Strat for 3 crown, exactly. That's crazy that Bubble like shits on that level. With the damage combos. I remember that short. He's still here because you're working on the script, you just lied? Alright. If only KFC had a bit higher range. Yeah, exactly. If he outranged Wing Piggy, it would be pretty reliable, but he's not. He can't. I don't think KFC can get an attack before Wing Piggy does, so you need to rely on a Stepping Stone. Thanks. Yes. He also curses Wing Piggy, which is great, but again, you need a Stepping Stone. I just addressed that. So I think he goes in C because it's better to just damage the Wing Piggy most of the time. I really should be mucking around with him more when I see Wing Piggy, but anyway. Next unit. A tier. Doron is quite strange because Doron is suicide unit, but he also has Behemoth Slayer. But he also has Surge, and Wild Birch has Surge immune, so it's a bit funny because Doron DPS is kind of a bit of a meme. But let's just do this, alright? Let's do this. Let's just make that Bahamut. Okay, Bahamut gets his own tier. Always gets his own tier. Let's see, what was I talking about? Doron, right, Doron. Either B or C, either A or B. It's got good damage output, his crowd control ability is insane. You have the Doron Iddy Bahamut combo now with Baja Blast, so he just shits on relics if they are not supported. Even if they are supported, look at that, you can use Doron, freeze, then Baja Blast kills everything else, then Iddy just rushes in and destroys whatever relic that you want to kill. Mostly will be an Othom. You could also do it with Emost. There's plenty of targets that you want to rush down with Doron, Iddy, and Bahamut. So I think A tier is pretty deserving. Yeah, and if you don't need to rush down, then you can just use him as a control tool with the knockback. Yeah, just good in general. Also behemoth damage, not evolvement 2. Uul has to be S. Well, I created a new one. Stone should be in Barman tier? No. This is no gacha, no gacha only. We're not taking into account Izanagi, so stone goes down. Research rock moment. Research rock only works when we have enough damage to support research rock. No gacha will never have enough damage to support research rock, so it's not as important. Well, I mean, you can, but if you already have those funds to support research rock, then you're already winning. But for gacha, it's a different case because the units are so good that research stone is good. You know, that's what I'm convinced anyway. Because I'm not using stone that much in ZL, and I am, I'm actually, yeah, I'm not regretting my decision cutting stone from my ZL lineups. Although when I see Cyclone with the stone, of course, the little Cyclone, Aku Researcher. It's funny because Aku Researcher is not the best at the roles that he actually performs in, but he's just fast. He's got good range, and his health is actually pretty good at level 50. I will check that right now. Aku Researcher. Aku Researcher. Aku. There we go. 16,000 health. 1,400 damage, actually. 3,000 DPS. I'm actually kind of surprised. I didn't realize it was that high. But yeah, Aku Researcher is just decent. I used him in the most recent ZL as a shield piercer for Wicked Face. Unfortunately, he gets one shot by the Wicked Face, but he's still decent to pierce Midnight D. That's most commonly what you see him with. Usually they don't have fallen bear naked and vulnerable to shield piercing. So mostly Midnight D. And for crits, it's just a good support critter. So I think, yeah, BT is pretty valid, and I need to make a move on. If you believe in the power of friendship, it works. You don't really use rock that much either. My main Meteor lineup is usually, okay, it's like one of 3 or 4 variations. It's either like dual Eraser with Stone, Eraser with Stone, as in Manic Eraser with Stone, Crazed Cat, Manic Eraser Stone, or just like Specialist Meteor with Stone or something. But then again, that's with support Ubers and like damaging Ubers. Without Ubers, you take Ubers out of the equation, Stone suddenly loses so much value. It's crazy. He's better critting than shield piercing. That's what it feels like a lot of the time, because the dangerous shields are always in the back line. Let's move on. I just need to get this done. Jagandor. Unfortunately, I think Jagandor slips down the tier. He just doesn't have a true form, so his stats are starting to fall off after around 5 years. There was a release around 5 years ago, and he was pretty good upon release because there were a lot of stages where you want to control traitless enemies quite hard. But in ZL at the moment, last time I used him was in the same one, TikTok Terraces, the last stage with Surge Spam and Diabolo and Doge Dark and Cap or whatever. And he's good there because you need to control a Cappy Jr. And he's also got Surge Immune, fast attacks. So he's just good, and good stats, good ship. There really aren't actually that many options you can use in that level, fundamentally. Like, less than 15, I would say. But apart from that level, I have not used him in quite a long time. And my laptop fan is being annoying. Well, I do apologize for my laptop fan, but it is broken. I'm just checking the stream right now. Okay, you know, I'm just stalling on the stream. Let's rank some more. Ah, okay, my laptop fan finally stopped. Let's go. Okay, well, I can explain Pied Piper a bit. There's not really many stages you want to use Pied Piper on, in ZL at the moment anyway. You can use him on Highness Road, sure, but apart from that, I can't think of a single usage. But when he does do well, I think he will completely destroy the stage. So yeah, Brass Cat goes in there. I should honestly have been using Brass Cat on one of the most recent ZL stages, which had Aku Bear, but I forgot to. I forgot he exists. $1 million easy B tier, easy B tier. Above Manic Monaco. Not above Cat Typhoon though. My laptop fan not be stupid, please. That's fine. Yeah, double eraser, then specialist midfield Ramen Shingon Cone. Yeah, that's fine too. At that point, I do like cutting down on eraser, so I bring like a Manic Eraser, Stone, and Specialist. But again, that's with Ubers. Oh, this fan doesn't like me, bro. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, Brass is a bit niche, but when he is good, he kind of can destroy the level because shield piercing is just that good. Calligraphy's dog, Super Feline probably goes into A or B tier. Actually, I want to say A tier because Super Feline, in my opinion, really slept on Generalist. He is expensive though, which is the main drawback to him. But he's got good health. The burst damage is not irrelevant, and especially against Relics. If you can get multiple Super Feline chains, you can do a lot of damage. Omni Strike is also very nice on Super Feline, because it kind of functions as a mini Edie that's spammable. Of course, you're supposed to use him on Revival Origin, which is kind of outdated now, but he's still just really good when you need Relic burst damage, like small chips on peons. Maybe you have like infinite money, like Revival Origin. With Super Feline, it always feels that way, so I don't know. Maybe I'm overrating him slightly, because I did use Super Feline on my Will Meet Again completions, on both of them. So I guess he could go down a tier. He's not bad, definitely not bad. I'm gonna move this a little bit too. Maybe I'm overrating, as I'm saying. How is 1 million cat that high? Oh, I didn't explain that one. I'll explain that in bits. Cooldown is pretty long. You remember, it doesn't have a really good damage. Well, there are 2 enemies, actually 3 enemies you can abuse with this unit. There's Cyberface, which Cyberface in ZL probably gets magnified out of the damage range. Then there is Metal Doge, which is a really good hit because you get double cash from the Metal Doge, and there's also Metal Hippo, and you double catch a Metal Hippo as well. So those 3 enemies with $1 Million Cat, you just instantly remove them. You pay small amount of money. You don't have to meat shield. You don't have to rely on any other critter, and you get a lot more in return. And that's why I think $1 Million Cat's good. You can use it at the start of the stage to gain money. Whenever there's Metal Doge, you can just farm that for cash. I know there's the most recent ZL chapter stage in like ZL 26 or 27, where there's just Metal Doge spawning with a few other like small bosses, and you can use $1 Million to farm the money from them, and it's very, very nice. So I like using $1 Million Cat anyway. You see, yeah, it's not for crit damage. It's kind of just to double cash the small metal enemies. Also, I guess you could plus level $1 Million Cat to one-shot the Cyberface, so that's a plus. That is nice. Let's move on. Nala S tier. I feel like Nala has fallen off a little bit in recent times. You're just not seeing as much Nala usage. She is the main counter to the Star UL though. She completely destroys a lot of the Star UL stages, especially in 4 Crown, because in 4 Crown the magnifications are pathetic. So she's really good, but I don't see her used as much as I used to a few years ago, 2 years ago. So yeah, Nala definitely slots in S tier. Could make an argument for S plus tier, but again, nowadays I'm not seeing as much Nala as I did. I'm definitely not using her as much as well, and she just tends to die relatively quickly in the current ZL stuff. So let's leave her in S tier, move on, and make some changes to this. Haniwa C tier, okay, Haniwa is alright. I think being around Gigando makes sense because they have the same typing. But Again, reality is Haniwa is not going to do anything for you in 2026, apart from very, very few stages. Maybe if you're trying to perma-stall a high-pushing power traitless enemy, yeah, Haniwa could do the job. Apart from that, no. Korea goes instant S tier, maybe even S plus tier. I'm kind of surprising myself with Korea because I would not have assumed. I Yeah, it's hard to say where Korea goes. Definitely not A tier, right? A tier is you're not seeing everywhere. But to be fair, Korea you're not seeing everywhere too nowadays. You are not. You always see them with like when they're behemoths. You always see them when they're reds. So that's probably good enough to put him in minimum high S tier, maybe S plus tier. I don't know. See if chat's saying anything different. No evolved form Bahamut's. Ambarai. Bro can't even see the top of the screen. Yeah, so Korea, I'm not sure where I will put him. Somewhere here. Somewhere here. In that range. Yeah, also Korea's getting one-shot by a lot of the ZL threats too, so it's not just that he's power crept, but it's that he's not as effective as before. Like, he's not surviving as long, so he gets less damage. Yeah, I think that's fine. Evolve not true form. This is true form, Bahamut, bro. Up here. Up here. Okay, Korea, I think I will leave Korea in high S. He shits on red enemies, right? That's plain simple. Cat Tarzan, I don't want to think about this unit at the moment. C tier. Let's go. I'm gonna move Manic Legs. Actually I won't, because he doesn't one-shot the brawlers, so I was already explaining that. So Tarzan, yeah, just not good, alright? Don't use this unit, please. Jetpack exists, so don't use this. Probably below Ninja, actually. Probably above Island too. Actually, no, probably lower. Yeah, pretty low. You're gonna see me put a lot of the stone units in here. Gas Mask, actually, I think deserves B tier because he's got Behemoth Slayer. If he did not have Behemoth Slayer, it'd be pretty bad. But he does, and I think he actually goes to somewhere between B and C tier. Jetpack does outclass Gas Mask though, so I think I'll move him down. Maybe, yeah, relatively high B tier. Looks alright. I think, yeah, this looks alright for Gas Mask. He's not terrible. Surgeon, terrible. I'm just going to put him with Cat Tarzan because I've never used the unit and I don't think I will apart from Labyrinth. Exorcist, even worse. I don't even know what he does. I'm just not using him. Ooh, Cat Cactus. Easy B or A tier? Easy B or A. Thing is, Cat Cactus is still an anti-surge, so he has some value outside of being an Aku meat shield. I'm definitely not putting him in C. He's not bad enough to be in C. But Cone exists, so he is not used as much nowadays for anti-Aku. Mostly for anti-surge and the secondary anti-Aku. So, yeah, I think we probably put him... I can't put him above Urz, right? Or maybe I can. I think I can, because Urz, immune to surge is nice. Next, we have Firefly. Oh, I wish this was good too, but he's only good on one dojo. Sucks to be you. Next is a Rocket Cat. I need to zoom out again. Wow. Next is Rocket Cat. Where does Rocket go? I don't even know what Rocket does either. This Rocket a shield piercer? This Rocket Cat, no, it doesn't. It just has a chance to knock back aliens with 300 range. I should have used this against the Cyclone, shouldn't I? I should have. Since it does kind of what Legs does, but also isn't legs. I'm gonna put him there. Mushroom. Ooh. Mushroom's fallen off. Mushroom has fallen off. See if I can actually do this. Yeah, that is slightly better. Mushroom has fallen off quite a lot, and you're not seeing that much Vajrakong by himself nowadays in 2026. I don't think Vajrakong has even appeared outside of 2-star ZL subchapter 1. So, otherwise I would have been happy to put him around up here. Of course, yeah, again, taking into account that we have Bubble in this tier list and also Cafeteria, I don't think Mushroom is as good. I will probably, I guess, it's better than my island. It's just, yeah, it's just better. We've got to move on, bro. It's been 2 hours. Supercar. S tier, easy S tier. The most reliable shield piercer in the game, if you can time your units properly. The most reliable barrier breaker, if you can time your units properly. One of the most efficient chip damage dealers, if you can time your units properly. And what do you call it? The intersection of everything there was timing units properly and being skillful, which I guess maybe I could bump him down a tier, but the fact that Supercar is just that good, I'm gonna put him below Valkyrie. He's like conditionally crazy good. Also, to be fair, Cyclone exists. Mini Cyclone exists, so yeah, I'm gonna put Supercar up here. Maybe above Maglev. If Mini Cyclone didn't exist, I'll put him down. But Supercar, crazy chip damage dealer. Again, he's got guaranteed knockback, so it can save you a lot of the time, especially against bosses. And what else is there to say? It's just really, really good variation of Maglev, which has kept keeping the game skillful alive, in my opinion. Mushroom covers niches that Cafeteria doesn't have, but Cafeteria is better. Thing is, even against Vajrakong, Cafeteria is good, because Cafeteria outranges... Actually, he doesn't outrange, but he's fast enough and has a fast enough attack that you can pretty reliably get Cafeteria damage against Vajrakong. So, you can just bring Vajrakong and Mushroom... Sorry, not Vajrakong and Mushroom. You can bring Mushroom and Cafeteria and just gamble. Pray that the Vajrakong doesn't shockwave, pray that you get some good Cafeteria hits, and it will die faster. It will literally just die faster. I just don't think Mushroom's good anymore. He fell off once Vajrakong was not relevant, which he's not really relevant at the moment. The only hard counter to Big Sal in the entire game, apart from Bombo, where does he go? Somewhere in C tier. Maybe B. Nah, B tier is too generous. Probably above these guys. Maybe above Golfer. Nah. If the enemies are at your base within attacking range of this guy, then you're already dead. So, not that niche. Sorry. Not that generally good. But he counters Big Sal, which is a pretty big deal when Big Sal is a very annoying enemy. Even with Holy Blast, very annoying. So I do not mind ever having a free counter to an enemy. Let's leave him here again, literally because he only counters one enemy. Otherwise he'll be a lot lower. Oh, now we're moving on to that. Wow, there's still so much left. I have to zoom out again, bro. This is so annoying. Oh. No. Loser. Okay, loser. My boy fell off. My boy fell off big time. I wanted to put him up A tier, probably S tier, 3 years ago when I obtained him. But now he's kind of just on the verge of being bad compared to a lot of the other special legends you can use. Especially because he's slow and he doesn't have good general stats and his immunities aren't crazy. But he does have Behemoth Slayer, which is pretty nice. So I'm gonna put him somewhere in B tier. Maybe above. Yeah, maybe above Toast. Luzar unfortunately just fell off. He just doesn't have that many like coverage, like usage, I guess nowadays. Like I I just I don't see why you would use Luzar when you've got stuff like Udol. I guess Mechabon is valid, but yeah, you're not using Luzar that much nowadays. Usually, if you can control the Velic enemy with Udol, you can win. So yeah, Luzar is no bueno. What is that? That's Cat Chief. Cat Chief probably goes into B tier. I like using Cat Chief a lot. Maybe there's a bit based with Cat Chief and that guy. Cat Chief is pretty good. You can get rid of some pretty strong zombie peons with Cat Chief. Because they turn into corpses, then Cat Chief is corpse killer, so yeah. Definitely between B and Cat of the Bear. Somewhere between here. It is funny because no Gacha does struggle a lot with killing zombies outright. But at the same time, you're not using Cat Chief that often because you don't need the anti-zombie, you just need general damage like Newton. So I think I'll leave him there. That seems alright. Above Loser, I mean, yeah, sure. I'm not sure. I haven't used him in a while though. Same with Loser. So I can't really guarantee that. Hitman, okay, Hitman, easy. Easy S tier. Arlos exists, and whenever you see Arlos to use Hitman. So now the question is, where do I put him? I think above Vice Ball is pretty valid. Or maybe even above Cafeteria. Cafeteria, yeah. Yeah, maybe above Royal Guard. He just completely destroys Traitless. He completely destroys Traitless. And he's got Wave Immune, he's got Freeze Immune, so he's a Henry counter. He pretty much, what, like 100,000 damage per hit with the LD, so really all you have to do is protect his blind spot, which Arlos won't ever go into anyway, and he will get completely destroyed. Whatever's inside that. To be fair, he isn't that stackable, so maybe I'll put him down a little bit behind the other Gacha specialist attackers, but yeah, he's still crazy. I still use him quite a good amount whenever I see annoying traitless enemies like Mr. Mo. Or even Corey. Nah, you just Barb lost Corey. Soapcat. Oh, Soapcat. ATR. Alien tanking is something we have not had in the game for a long time. We got Rocat, we got Octopus, and we've never really gotten any other kind of full tank super rares. But now we have Soap, which was added like 3 years ago, and I feel old. I feel old just saying that. But yeah, Soapcat's pretty good, it turns out. A lot of the time when you just need pure alien health, or behemoth health plus a bit of alien health, Soap is a pretty good option. I'm talking about mostly Binoglios. I'm going to put Soap maybe here, because maybe he's a little bit niche to put in S tier. I mean, he does permastall a lot of the aliens. So he has a potential of being really good. Nearly permastalls Cyclone too, which is kind of stupid if the weekend hits. So it's close contender between B and A, in my opinion. It's all dependent on the alien meta, and the alien meta right now is mostly backliners, not frontliners. So I think I'll leave him there. Soapcat's really good for Binoglios as well. Yeah. But Binoglios you don't get a good unit from anyway, and you don't really need to beat it. The problem... Yeah, again, the problem is most of the issues that Soapcat fixes are from older metas, where you'd see alien, maybe like the occasional alien boar. I can't really think of other really annoying alien frontliners that don't warp. I guess Gregory would count as one too, but Gregory you need damage for anyway. So look, Soap can be between these two spots, in my opinion. But the current meta I'm seeing is not Soap, except for Binoglios and like one ZL stage. Seen people use Poltrio, Stunlock, Strat, and go, all top 3 stages easy now. But made me happy since it showed me beating the stages by experimenting with non-sentical units in modern BC is not dead. Sheep, I get that. Yeah, I used Golfer pretty recently, so I'm planning to use him again too if I get around to playing the ZL Crown. But it's always cool to discover new strategies in the game. It's one of the few reasons I actually still play this game is because strategies are always going to develop or kind of like reimagine themselves into something better and really optimize. And yeah, that's why people do challenge runs and so on, so they can refine strategies. As for the cheese is not easy at all. I don't know why Marker Quad, like, I don't know if the Marker Quad video, I did see it, I didn't watch it, but I think that the general gist was that the cheese was pretty easy. Used Little Lion and ICAT and stuff and did 8 slots. Like, but it's not free, it's quite difficult. With no gacha you can do it with 6 slots, but again, it doesn't mean that it's free, it's still difficult. And it is not an easy like series of stages anyway, without the 4th one causing problems. There's still the 3rd stage and the 2nd stage and the 1st stage. So yeah. I do give you respect for that. Choose Double Luna against Brutal Ost. Alright. When is BC in getting the stage? When is it coming on? I have no clue. Let's move on. I was just ranking Soapcat, so we're moving on to Barrel. Barrel A tier or B tier. I should use Barrel more. Barrel is like, so it's like Blast Cat, but does not rely on mini wave. Where did I put Blast then? Did I put him B or C? Probably B, right? Yeah, bottom of B. Maybe. Nah. Barrel's better than Blast. Barrel is better than Blast. I think anyway. Wait, maybe not. Hold on. I've got to compare these two. Go Rare, go Shield Piercing. I need to see the differences. I know Blast Cat is faster, it's got more range, but there's a lot of luck required for Blast to get a Shield Pierce on relevant enemies. Guaranteed chance to weaken, 50% chance to mini wave, 60% chance to break. Attacks every 3 seconds. Barrel Cat, 60% chance to break, has LD, resistant, and attacks slightly longer, with less speed, and around same health and damage. So that means I should just be using Blast Cat more. But to be fair, that does mean that the DPS, the shield breaking chance is around 1.5 times higher with Barrel, because of the mini wave chance. So I do like using Barrel a bit more, even though I don't use either of them. I should be using them, I just don't. So let's put him in high B. I don't think Barrel deserves A low. No, he does. I think he does. He kind of destroys the shields really well. Yeah. I guess talking for around 2 hours has drained quite a lot from me in terms of energy. So let's keep on moving. What is that? Is that Cop? I think it is Cop. Cop fell off, unfortunately. I wish I could say Cop was good, but Cop is not good. Probably B tier. I don't want to be too harsh to Cop Cat because the base kit stats against Behemoths are still there. The issue is, again, outside of Behemoths, the health is just not good. Papu only appears in a singular ZL stage, which you're not going to use Copcat on there, probably, because of the surges. So it's hard to say, with the current ZL meta being what it is, if Copcat will get more usage, but there's no way he's going above B tier. There's no way he's going to go above some of the other units in this tier as well, so yeah, I don't know. Where did I put him? I put him below Urs. Yeah, honestly, this makes me want to put Urs up. If Cop is this high, there's no way. I'm going to put him bottom in B tier, because he's still fine as like a Behemoth generalist for damage. And he's like a bad pizza cat, but apart from that, yeah, I'm not using him. Cop is a traitless pizza with more defense. And that's the issue. Pizza is good because of his offense, and his defense is just inherently ridiculous. Sorry. Let me just search up pizza real quick, because I haven't done the numbers in a bit, but I believe a level 80 pizza cat has 86,000 health. So, let's see. Level 50 plus 30 max talent has 86,580 health with 4 knockbacks. So, bro, literally, Pizza Cat literally has like 3.5 Manica Razors worth of health. That's what makes him so good. We compare that to Copcat, who has around 1.5 times less stats. Yeah, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Of course, that's with all the boosting and everything, but in the current meta, like Copcat, you need it. Like Copcat needs to be quite offensive. Like the traitless meta as well at the moment is just Hitman and Barblast and Newton. So you're not going to get much value out of Copcat. The traitless, and for behemoths, you already have Urs So there's a very, very small niche where Copcat fits in, and it is not being shown right now. In alternate universe, behemoths are common occurrences in ZL instead of being relegated to Colosseums. True, the Colosseums do exist, and Cop is alright in the Colosseums, but generally the Colosseums are not that hard. I guess I can bump him up because of Colosseums, huh? Okay, we're nearing the end of this list, finally. This farm boy. Poor farm boy. Well, he's like the bad angel son. He's like the bad Sanzo for Sundoba. No surge immunity too. It's meant to. I don't even know what the point of farm boy is, to be honest. We already have mushroom. Cone cat broke the game. Okay. Fallen Bear Cat, probably B tier. I'm not really sure. Again, the anti-Aku meta is not really focused around Aku Gori, so it kind of sits around lowish B tier. I would say, yeah, not really above the critters. Low B tier. But when you can use Fallen Bear Cat, like when Aku Gori is an issue, Fallen Bear Cat's crazy, bro. Fallen Bear Cat is pretty much like a cafeteria against Aku Gori. Just send them out, they die, then they kill the Akugori, and you are happy. So yeah, he goes there, and we can move on because I'm starting to, yeah, feel it. Feel the drain. Catapod, B or A tier. I actually like Catapod quite a lot. It's just, again, currently the meta for ZL is not behemoths. So I'm willing to put him in A tier for exclusively Colosseums and being that good, and also just for being crazy against behemoths. Yeah, maybe he can go up a bit. Maybe a Razor's a little bit high. Yeah, maybe a Razor is a little bit high. But yeah, Catapult can pretty easily go somewhere in this range. Maybe like this. Well, I prefer using Catapult. Who needs anti-Aku units when Kun Uval exist? Yeah, that's also one of the things, but when you need disposable Aku damage, Fallen Bear Cat is really good. Mostly against Aku Gori, of course. Metal Emperor, I'm just going to put in C tier. I never use this unit, I never will, most likely. So, yeah. Kakridis, the thing that makes Bahamut also really good, will sit somewhere here. I do like using Kakridis more than Nara. Not more than CAT. But, yeah. Kakridis, literally, you weaken once, old man on the chair floats in, and weakens everyone, then dies, and you're happy. Oh. Otherwise, without Bahamut, it's not good. Let's move on. My boys. Next. Here. Next. Unreliable. Maybe reliable. Floating dodge. Not that good though. Yeah, maybe you can go here. Yeah, maybe you can go here, yeah. Okay. Better spot. I'm gonna move our ability down. Actually, no, not really. I'm gonna move Sardine up. That looks fine. Cookies and cafeteria deadly combo against Sendoba, correct? But outside of Sendoba, Cacfidis is not that reliable. If you see Wing Piggy, just bring Bahan Blast and Curse Blast. Cacfidis a bit unreliable, and otherwise, I guess Mini Cyclone could work and Tarsilial too. But yeah, not the best. Definitely had a little bit of a fall off because of Mutant, but he's still fine. What is this unit? That's Squid. No one uses Squid. No one uses Squid in their right mind. He's literally only good on Labyrinth, so I'm gonna put him down here. He's better than Dark though. But you're just never using him actually. But you're never using these units either, so technically. Ooh, S tier unit again. Cat Nova. Question is, does Cat Nova go in S plus or in S tier? And I want to put in an S plus tier. Good generalist, good damage. CC ability is nice, not crazy though. Unlike Oolong. Also, I'm gonna bump Cone up. Yeah, this looks kind of valid. Definitely buff Stone, buff Cone, probably. So yeah, Cat Nova just really good in general. I've used her a lot. One of the main upsides to Cat Nova is that she has Sage Slayer. Sage Slayer is really, really good in ZL. She also has, I think, immune to. I'm entirely sure about that, but I'll check right now. Having just immunities. Okay, she has immune to curse too, I think. Let's see. What does this say? Okay, Cat Nova. Let's see, okay, I'm just reading her stats right now. 164,000 health, 350 range, which is same as Mitama. Or maybe slightly higher. Better DPS than Mitama, which is pretty important. And yeah, lower uptime, which sucks. But the Sage Killer is so good. The Sage Killer is so good on Cat Nova. It's crazy. A lot of the Sages can just get countered by Cat Nova because the CC abilities won't work against Sage Slayers. Yeah, Cat Nova is no Gacha Mitama in a way, but she's a lot more offensive, and you have to rely on like support damage, or like better support damage with Cat Nova because she's that aggressive. But yeah, she's just really good, and whenever you can bring her, usually it's a good idea because she just Mitama, pocket Mitama, for no Gacha. And turns out, a lot of the stages you will want to try and control the enemies. There's Motorpipe going by. You want to control the enemies on, and Cat Nova will do that for you. So really good generalist, and we can move on. Bowler Cat, oh garbage, unlucky. Bowler Cat you use for like 2 levels and then you forget about. I want to put him around Gridiron. I think Bowler's slightly better than Gridiron. But they are around the same kind of category of stuff, where they have like immunities, which is cool, and they have cool abilities, and they have like piercing maybe, but they just don't have good generalist stats, and they just don't do enough. So I'll leave Bowler there. The 2 levels that I was alluding to use Bowler on are floor 50 of Golden Tower, which is actually really good there, and TikTok Terraces, the same one again. The surge spam level with Cappy Jr., like the minute thingamabob. Which is also decent there, but only because there are not many other units you can use with surge spam. So, alright. Too lazy to do 3 or 4 can UL, haven't tried her in VCU either, so you can't say anything about Nova. That's fair, I've used Nova a lot, and it's safe to say whenever you see a Sage enemy, Cat Nova is probably really good. So, yeah. You barely see Canova used anymore. It makes me sad. Again, when you see Sages pop up in ZL, then Canova obviously gets that treatment too. And we have another ding 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 S plus tier material here. Mutant. Mutant is crazy. I don't know how long it's been since no gacha got like a good backliner, but it feels like a Mutant is the first one in history of the game. Like, I guess apart from Ururun and that kind of like spike when she petered out. But Mutant is crazy good. Mutant is ridiculous. Again, it's been a really long time since you got a good backliner, and Mutant fills that role so well that you can just bring him on like every single no gacha level. He's just that good. And I'm not sure if you've seen a video series that was started by some players, but they tried to do every single stage in the game with 11 units, no gacha, and Mutant was in it. That's just, again, that's how good he is. So I really don't know how else to explain it apart from you should use him. you should try him out if you don't have him, and if you don't have him, then get him, because he also fills two nice roles that have been missing. Again, CC for floating, another anti-floating, and an Omni Strike unit. Like he just does everything. I don't know how to explain it. He's just crazy. He's crazy. Not close to Catnova, but if you go off what GACHA TIERLIST says, he said it was no gacha Mitama when it first came out. That's what everyone thought, but they have very different dynamics. Mitama is a lot more defensive. You want to use Mitama on levels which either push you a lot, or that you can push a lot. Not like in between, because you don't want Mitama to be juggled. But Catnova can't really be juggled that easily because of the high health. So there are subtle differences between the two. Mitama, I think, is better. She also has Wave Immune, but no Curse Immune. But she's better because if you're using Mitama, then you're using Gacha. And that means you're using Ubers to support Mitama, and yeah. So she is better, but kind of in a weird way. Lil Nyandam is so comically bad, it's not even fun. Yeah, he is terrible. I level 50'd him for bad guys, but it wasn't even worth it. We finally have so few units left. We can start with a relatively bad unit, who's actually not even terrible. His damage output is close to maglev damage, but I've never seen him used. So I'm just gonna like chuck him somewhere here, because I know he has potential to be good, given the right stages. Farm Boy's got to go down, bro. Farm Boy cannot be that high. I'm just gonna put him with Surgeon and stuff. Yeah, but Tasmanian Crab, that guy actually is crazy damage output, and it's fast and spammable. So, look, there might be a point in time where this guy actually becomes really good on a certain stage, but it just has not really popped up yet. Mitama also has resistance to her traits. When you factor in the resistance, the health goes around similar to Catnova. I think Mitama is still higher though, by a little bit, but not by much. Let's see. Mitama has 200,000 health, approximately. Catnova has 168, so there is a 50,000 health gap. But again, those main characteristic differences are, number one, there's the knockbacks. Number two, there is the DPS, and number three is the attack force swing and the uptime. So number four. There are like four main differences which really set apart the two, and you don't really use them in the same way. Necessarily use them in the same way. Like they're not interchangeable always, but they are similar. Yeah. Let's get back to the list because we have one more good unit, two more good units and a bad unit. So Carpenter. Where'd I put Carpenter? Oh fuck, Carpenter is crazy as well. Carpenter completely devoids two enemies in the game as of right now. Completely destroys Dr. KO. Completely destroys Cacrates or Socrates or Socrates, whatever the enemy's called. So I think it's pretty safe to say he's minimum A tier. The issue with Rapicat is that Rapicat does not have a lot of health. And Red and Floating are unfortunately traits that like to output a lot of damage, so Rapicat dies, or seems to die, a lot faster than Cone and Jetpack, and it is just the fault of his typing. It's still good though. Rapicat and Korea are very good synergy because Rapicat has the same speed as Korea and they both have red targeting, so there is very nice synergy between the two. And I think A tier is pretty appropriate. I kind of want to put Lillivaser down now. This is not looking right. I'm going to put Lillivaser. Yeah, I'm going to put him there. Just a variant of Eraser. Yeah, definitely could have contended for S tier if the health was a bit better. Or something changed. It's just unfortunate typing though. Carpenter's on par with Cone. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. Cone is its own category. Cone broke the game. Carpenter broke one stage. There is a pretty big difference between breaking the game and breaking the stage, so... admittedly, Carpenter can break a few other stages, but he's not as game-breaking as Cone. That's the thing. Just because of the trading, pretty much. And we've got 2 more units left. Newspaper, whom I've not used, but I know is pretty good. I will try and assess Newspaper as fairly as possible, as of right now, to give the best assessment. Newspaper has 3k DPS at level 50, a double multi-hit, which the second one is piercing. So, in theory, it's a 1.5k piercing attack DPS and 3k close range damage DPS. That's not piercing. And he's very fast. The attack interval is not very suicide Russia attack frequency. It's like half a second, then a full second. So you do need to keep Newspaper alive for a while to get full value out of it. If you want both attacks anyway. Otherwise, the single target damage is pretty bad. Looks here 30,000 DPS because it's got insane damage. Maybe actually to be a bit more generous, 33,000 DPS, 34,000 DPS for single target damage. But the real kicker comes that's, well, it's area attack and it's piercing and it's stackable somewhat, 236 cooldown, and the range is 330. So it's fast. It kind of like can avoid damage pretty easily with the speed, and with Cone Cat it kind of becomes like even crazier because Uvel's your crowd control, Newspaper's your damage, and then Cone Cat's your tank, and that's kind of all you need. So I feel like Newspaper supports that strategy so well that I could definitely go into S or A. I'm not sure if it goes into any higher because, you know, the only reason it works is because of Uvel and Cone already existing. Newspaper just supports that strategy. You know what I mean? Like, makes it even easier to do. Carpenter broke Samakthis, which is the hardest story boss, so Cone just breaks every Relic and Arcu stage. But the thing is, it only breaks one stage. Again, you can beat that stage with a strategy that doesn't use Carpenter. It's hard, sure, but it's possible, right? It's possible. And you also have Mutant, because it's 2026. We're talking with Parkley. So, it's not insanely, like, crazy, just because it beats Samakthis. We're thinking about the future here as well, not just one stage. So, if Samakthis returns, sure, maybe you can bump up a tier or so on. But yeah, I don't think it's that good. I feel like I should move Samba Cat around a little bit. Samba Cat's not as good as a lot of these options. Yeah, I mean that might be better. Maybe Samba goes below. Yeah, I could be overrating Samba quite a lot here. And it's just a good no gacha meat shield anyway. If we have space for Samba, it's fine. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna put him below Erasers. Oh, maybe slightly above. Yeah, Carpenter. Yeah, this ranking looks fine. Maybe Little Island goes above. I don't know. It's hard to say with Carpenter because Carpenter has a lot of potential, depending on what they create, you know. And that seems to be the end of the tier list. Finally got there after around 2.5 hours. So that was pretty cool. I will have to say this tier list looks fairly accurate to what I was thinking. I did try and ensure that every unit I placed had a purpose. Ironically, this, like, every unit that I put in here took around 1 minute. Like, on average, every unit took 1 minute to place. So, I've been yapping a lot. I've been yapping that shit ton, because there are 161 units in this tier list. 161. That's cool. I'm going to copy this. I'm not going to do that. Okay, let me just call it Tavi no gacha tier list. Download that too. And yes, just call it that. Okay, cool. That's saved and all. Now I'm gonna post that on a few of my normal channels. But yeah, that was actually pretty cool. I quite like doing that. It kind of puts into perspective how the game has like progressed since what was good, even just like 1 or 2 years ago, to what the game is like right now. Yeah, I guess there could be some arguments that Mutant goes above Uval and B. Actually, maybe you should have put them a bit higher. I don't know. It's really hard to say because it all depends on the meta. But I feel like Uval and Idi are so broken against their traits that they kind of stop it in their tracks. Like they stop certain strategy, like enemy strategies, in their tracks. So opponents have to just, you know, make some things different to play around them. I should have maybe thought, yeah, I really should have put a bit more thought into the higher tier ones, but it looks relatively accurate, I would say. I remember fighting Gigando on release, had to get out the Ubers and the stage was still agony. I remember fighting Gigando upon release, and that was really bad because I talented Kai for it, and I never ended up ultra talenting Kai. So it was kind of like, well, now I have a level 53 Kai with shield piercing, which is completely irrelevant. But those are just the things you do, you know, when you play the game. So I'm not too disappointed. I'm so glad here I could sit for hours watching this tier list happen. Thank you, I guess. I'm a Idi should go above Uval just for rushing strats too. I guess. I should have put, I should have put a little bit more time arranging these S+ units more. I know that there is definitely some wiggle room for this. Again, it's kind of hard to say. What happens if I remix it? Does it like... Okay, it does it again. So I guess I could revise these top units again. Like Newspaper could go up, really. Valkyrie should go up too. Faculties could go up a bit as well. Valkyrie is pretty good. But let's just arrange these top, what, is there 9 there yet? 9 units, top 9 units. Maybe one more. The top of S tier can go to S+ tier. How about that? How about that? Just as a final activity before I fucking kill myself because it's been 2.5 hours. Let's do this. Barmet's on top for sure. Mutant I want to put next because Mutant is just that good. He really just is that good. I don't know how to describe it. If we're gonna arrange it, probably Cone can go down then. If we really want to arrange on like current power, Cone can go down, Uval can go down. Manic Eraser also might just go down, to be honest. But I personally like using Manic Eraser. I would consider him top 10. I can't see that angle. But yeah, I'll definitely move Mutant up. Canova can also go up to. Idi can, I guess, Idi can be above Slime, Uval too. Conecat's losing value for sure. But it's still really good though. Now this is like a general tier list for like top stuff. Slime, yeah, slime is kind of crazy. Still. Cone. I'm gonna put slime above cone. But for sure, these units will go up. So now it's just time to decide who goes into S plus. Who's the last little bugger who goes into X plus, S plus? Hello, Tukas, what's good? Nowadays, you rarely talent anything because you know they will immediately be irrelevant. You talented units like Ninja, Bondage, and Little Jamio. Updated it and basically never used them. Well, I only talented them when I wanted them. Talented, and I never did. Ural fell off, I guess. But I think Ural only fell off because you're not seeing as much fodder for Ural as, you know, Staryu was. So I think the last unit I should push up is probably going to be LKD. Yeah, LKD protects everything else, right? Okay. I'm just gonna download the image. It's fine. Can download? Thank you. And that's all. So that's gonna be the end of stream. I'm actually kind of drained because I've been streaming for around 2.5 hours. It motivated me to do 3 kind UL. I'm gonna go do it now. Bye. Well, let's end the stream too. I have a bit of a nice content graph from this, so I want to get this uploaded and edited as well eventually, because that would be cool. And I will, yeah. I don't think I'll do something like this again, but yeah, feel free to do it. I do have a pinned comment with the link, so in any case, goodbye everyone. I am really done, so goodbye.